Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing heart.
Hey guys, I made myself a big entrance. What do you think? Oh man, how you doing, everybody? Good to see you. Oh, we got a nice little crowd here already before we're even getting started. That's great. I just sent out a bunch of emails and a bunch of links to you guys. Anybody that wants to join in the chat is absolutely welcome. And we'll see. I've had a couple of people send me an email back and tell me that they're going to join me. So let's see who we got here. Exploration Obsession, number 1. How you doing? Rodney Bell, how are you? Brent, how you doing? And Night Train is here. And RD FPV, how are you? Peter Carroll, hi Peter. Can always count on you. And Brent, Night Train, RDV, Peter, Rodney, Peter, and yeah, I saw where somebody commented that I was flying in the acro mode. Yeah, I'm trying to learn. The flying isn't. Haven't had the opportunities too much. The weather down here in Florida has just been. If it isn't raining, it's too windy. And
surprise,
the flying isn't. Hey, all right, there we go. Weather
hey,
down here in Florida.
Hey, Rodney Bell.
If it isn't raining, it's too windy. And
surprise.
Everybody, shut off your audio there on your stream.
Mine's off.
Okay. God, I don't mind hearing myself talking, but that was like 10 different times. So that's cool. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? And Gary, how are you? And I see Spike is in this chat room. Hey, Spike, how are you?
Hi, Spike.
Yes, sir.
All right. How you doing, mate?
So how you guys doing?
Doing great here. Getting some flying in. We had a house torn down across the street, so I had a little forewarning. So a couple weeks before they tore it down, I shot it before, and then I got a shot after. So that was kind of fun, and doing the usual nature kind of stuff. Ponds and streams, and yesterday was trying to get some farm equipment out in the field shot, and so yeah, it's all coming along.
Cool. How about you, Rodney? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just chilling out, making some changes to my cable service. And as a result, when your stream started, when you're still on the intro part, my internet dropped out. So
I saw where you put that. I saw where you put that in the chat. But then you got back here pretty quick, so that's cool.
Yeah, I dropped some premium channels. So when they made the switch, I guess it interfered with the internet, but it's all better now.
Spike puts in the chat that he says frozen. Anybody having any problems? I'm monitoring it on my notebook over here. Seems to be running okay.
He
Hey,
said refreshed all good over there. So
okay, cool.
I'm good here.
Oh, okay. Spike says he refreshed it. He's okay. Well, good. And hey, Carpenter Rick, how are you? Thomas O'Sullivan is in the house. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. And Mike Roche, hello. Mike said he's going to be joining us in a few minutes. And whose chat was it that the other day where we had them strung out all across the bottom of the thing? Somebody's chat I got involved in, and it got a little out of hand, but it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
I thought we should get on early and not leave you hanging out there by yourself there, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I usually have a couple of little videos that I can queue up and bullshit with the guys in the chat room for a little while first. But I really, when you do these hangout things, you don't plan a show like Greg, Oz by Drone or Ken Hearn or any of these other guys do, that where you have a whole screen full of stuff, news articles and things lined up you want to talk about. You basically just have a little jam session with the guys, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that better. It certainly isn't as much work as trying to put together a whole produced show, and I don't think that's really my idea of a lot of fun anyway. So, Paul Murray, how you doing, Paul? Good to see you.
Hello, Paul.
You got some rain there today, Paul. I've been watching the stream that comes off from under the bridge there, and it looks kind of wet. So,
oh, it's been. I'll tell you. I finished building that new drone of mine, that Marmot, on like Monday, and I put out the video and said I'd be flying tomorrow, and I really don't have enough room around my house to fly, and I don't like to fly around my community anyway. So, and I have some airplanes that I want to test fly too. So I've been trying to get up to our AMA, our club field, which is about a half an hour from here. That big wide open field where you've seen some of the little drone videos, but it's a great place, I think, to test fly a new drone, because you can just blast it up high. You can, go out wide. You can do all kinds of stuff. There's really nothing to run into. Not the most exciting place to shoot these wild FPV videos where you're, running through trees and everything, but it's a great place to test. And every morning this week, I wake up and I say, great, I'm going. I'm going to pack up the car and then I look at the UAV forecast where they tell you what the winds are going to be. If it isn't raining, it's blowing like crazy, gusting to 20 miles an hour. So I'm hopeful again for tomorrow morning, but I'm going to take some cameras with me. And
hey guys, I'll be right back.
oh, okay, Rodney. For better or for worse, I'm going to film it, and if it crashes, fine. But I want to record it, especially after all that. Centroid, Mark, is that you? Did you shorten your name to just plain old Centroid? Wow, that's pretty cool. Hey, listen, Mark, I don't know if I have your email, but if you'd like to join our panel, I'd love to have you. If your email isn't really private, throw it in the chat. If it is private, email it to me at oldguyinadrone@gmail.com. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Let me send you a link, and hang on a second here. Well, maybe we'll do a little FPV talk tonight, because you're going absolutely. I thought I was going crazy, but you've turned it into a lifestyle.
He's gone Louis P. Floyd style.
Unbelievable. Let's see if we get my email program out here. Compose to here we go. And yeah, you got to do all this housekeeping when you're running one of these things. You got to be producer, director, And I wanted to ask Mark, if you do come on, I do want to ask you a couple questions about how you're integrating Hangouts into OBS, because you seem to have it working pretty good. So in that respect, maybe I can pick your brain a little bit. Okay. Let me know if you didn't get it. Paul Murray, teeny weeny at sockpuppet.com.
Well, that'll keep Mark out.
Oh God, there's 10,000 unemployed comedians in this country right now. Did you know that?
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop out. Let someone else come in.
Oh, why, Rodney?
The wife's home. She's getting ready to make dinner. So.
Oh, that's a good excuse. All right. You don't need a note. That'd be fine.
Thanks. Hey, Centroid, how you doing?
Hey, I just heard that. Did frickin' Paul put something about teeny weeny in there?
Yeah,
He knew you were coming on.
Oh, he's the bane of my existence with that thing. And he
All right,
knows
guys.
it too.
I'll see you later.
All right, Rodney. Thanks for stopping by.
Well, hello and bye, Rodney.
Bye, Mark. I'll talk to you next time, Mark.
Okay, no problem, man.
All
Take
right,
care.
Brent, have a good one.
Stick
Maybe.
around the chat anyway.
Bye.
Drop it, lurk, do whatever, do it ever like that. So how you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well, thanks. How you doing, Mitch?
Doing good. I'm just not getting any flying in other than in my house.
Well, I got some flying in yesterday, and then it rained all day today. So and every field around here gets muddy, and then it stays muddy until the next rain, and then it gets muddy again.
Yeah,
so I spent a lot of time cleaning quads.
Yeah, I haven't really had that problem yet. I haven't flown nearly as much as you've flown.
I fly whenever I can.
Yeah, and I can't fly anywhere hardly close to where I live. So, we have this model airplane field, and
Oh, that's cool.
but it's a half an hour away, and you got to load up the car, and I'm starting to fly the RC airplanes again. So hopefully I'll get out there tomorrow morning or Saturday morning if it's not too windy.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Fly that Armaton. See.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that thing in the air, man. I heard lots of good things about it. So.
Well, everything seems to work. It was an interesting build, because I tried to cram a lot of technology in it. It's got the GPS rescue in there. It's got the long range R9 mini receiver.
Oh geez, so you've gone way beyond what I've gone. I just go basic. I haven't done the GPS stuff yet.
Yeah, and I put one of the rescue buzzers in it.
That I have done, and I've needed to do that.
Did you put one with its own battery?
Yeah, I've got. I bought the V-Fly, and then I found somebody else had a link to a one that's supposedly just like it at half the cost. So I just ordered a couple of those. So yeah, it's got the LED if it goes dark at night. So I don't know. It's got the battery. You know which one I'm talking about?
No, the one that I have has a bright LED and a really loud squealer on it, and a push button to shut it up, because you got to shut it up every time you disconnect your battery.
Yeah, it's the V-Fly does the same thing. It's got the same features, and it's like $14. But the one I just ordered is like $6 and change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I can always give you the link that somebody shared with. I'm trying to think who sent it to me. But one of the FPV guys. But yeah, it's nice because the little cheapo buzzers that I put on it, that you got to be like 5 feet from your quad to hear it.
and using the D-Shot beeper, those things don't make enough noise to really.
No, they don't. And for old ears like ours, the high pitched isn't easy to hear either, especially when the wind's blowing.
Did you hear the story about me losing my my Tiny Hawk in the house?
You lost it.
So I'm flying it around the house,
Mhm.
and this is a funny story. So I'm flying it around the house, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try to do some, even though it's not that big in here, I'm going to try to do some rolls and some flips
Mhm.
with the goggles on. Okay,
Mhm,
so I got it into the living room, which is the biggest room in my house, and I start flipping it around, and all of a sudden it just hits something, and it gets a little dark. I figure it went under some furniture.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in the other room. So I take my goggles off and I put them down, and I have the transmitter with me, and I've got the D-Shot beeper working. working on this
Mhm,
thing.
mhm,
So I have it on that F3, the momentary switch, you know,
mhm.
and I hear it beeping. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell the direction of those.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Anyway, I hear it beeping and I kind of narrow it down to an area next to one of my speakers and my stand where, you know, underneath my TV, and it's got glass shelves on it. And so I'm looking behind the speaker and I'm looking under the glass shelves and behind the glass shelves, and I'm looking everywhere. I cannot find the damn thing. And I'm trying to hone in on this beeping sound.
Mhm.
You know, I just can't find it. And then it still had lights on it. And I went over and I caught an angle where I have a big wall hanging TV,
Mhm.
and the
Behind
reflection
it. It was behind it.
from under the TV, I could see the light.
Oh, okay.
It had gone behind the
Uh-huh.
wall hanging TV and just got stuck on a
Yeah.
wire back
Yeah.
there.
Of course. Well, that's a lesson that you'll have figured out when you go out there, and I'm glad you have your beeper on, because before I even put beepers on, and before all the brush grew the way it did and where I usually fly, you know, you duff it and you lose your quad, and you think you know where it is. And the first lesson I learned is, where you think it is, figure about 75 yards away from that.
Yeah.
With your goggles on, you think you know where you hit the ground. It's never where you think you hit the ground. So I needed those buzzers badly. So.
Peter Carroll, excuse me 1 second. Peter Carroll, yeah, said, any room for an old Aussie on it? Sure, Peter, love to have you, man. If I don't have your email address, go ahead and stick it in the chat. And if you don't want to publicize it, email it to me at oldguyinadrone@gmail.com. I'd love to have you. Spike, there's room for you too, mate, if you want to come
hi,
in here.
Spike, in the house.
Crikey. Yeah, Spike's in the chat. Spike,
What's up?
I've been hanging out a lot on his live streams lately. I have a good time over there on his
Oh, he
live.
does a nice stream. I haven't been on. I've only been on like a Canadian Drone Hub a couple times. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Spike, I've been
Hey,
hanging out
Mark.
a lot on here we go. Hey, Chris.
No.
What's up, Mitch?
Oh, he does a nice stream. I haven't been on. I've only been on like.
There, that's better.
There we go. I heard my voice there for a second. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, everybody new that comes in we have to remind them to.
Mars is in too.
Oh my God, hey, good day, Mars. How are you? Let me give you a crikey for the Australians. And let's see. Well, you guys talk while I send this email off here to Peter.
We didn't want to interrupt your train of thought.
Yeah, right.
Why didn't it? Oh, Spike, didn't I email you the link? Okay, I'll get it to you. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you emailed it to him. I see him in the email.
Yeah.
Did you pay the Australian duty for the email to get there? Yeah, you emailed it.
Well, I don't know if it's going to get there, because one of the latest conspiracies is that Australia doesn't even exist, right? So
Keep talking, guys. While I do this.
and all the Aussies are just British actors pretending to be Australian. I'm not joking. That is apparently a conspiracy out there.
Kind of like flat Earth, right?
Yeah, it's it, and yeah. I wish I were joking. I really do.
And let me get.
So Mars and Ice Spike, apparently you don't exist, or you're just really, really actors from England. Just saying.
I like how Spike calls us up over.
Up over as opposed to down under.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Okay, guys. 2 links on their way to Australia.
Well, he might have. He's at tomorrow already.
Say what?
You're having to send it into the future. It's Friday there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Time travel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not in the middle of the night for them. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm good, Mitch. How's your week been?
Oh, it's been great, except I can't fly. The weather's been I suppose I could fly if I had a nice little place just to do something simple, but I want to take that Armaton out and run it, and really give it a good test. And I want to do a full line of sight flight, blasting it up in the air, make sure everything, all the electronics are working, and then I want to try. I'll try an FPV flight. Start out maybe in the angle mode, make sure everything works right, and then throw it into acro and see what happens.
You're so smart, Mitch, because I just freaking sent it into acro. First time, I was gone.
I know you did, and you know something, Mark, with the simulator practice, you've come a tremendous long way in a short period of time, much further in your flying than I have, because I haven't put in the time, and the difference is our style and maybe our age.
Well, I mean, don't you have experience with the helicopters and stuff? Wouldn't it be somewhat similar? I would think, because those weren't easy to fly either.
No, none of that stuff's easy, but it turns out that when I fly the drones line of sight, they do help.
Okay.
But when I fly FPV, it hurts me.
Okay.
Because I have to unlearn muscle memory things.
Oh, geez. Okay.
That I'm used to. So flying these are different. Now, I hadn't flown an RC airplane in years, and I went out to the field, took an RC airplane, took it off, flew it, and it was as though I had never
left it.
Yeah, but I have to learn a whole new set of movements based on what, after 50 years of flying. So it may in actuality have been easier for you to learn to fly these FPVs.
Maybe. iSpike's in the house, joined us.
Hey, Spike, how are you? He was. There he is. I see him, but I don't hear him.
Is he frozen?
I don't know.
He looks pretty still to me. He looks pretty still to me.
I see him, but I don't hear him. We have no sound from Spike. Maybe he can't hear me.
Yeah, drone shots. Hey, what's up, man? He says helis are the hardest. I wouldn't doubt it.
See you, but don't hear you, Spike.
And we have Peter on the panel now too.
Peter, is that you?
That's me.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, good. God, it's really great to be on with. We have never been on together before, have we?
No, this is the first. Actually, this is the first time I've been on a sort of live chat like this too. So.
Oh wow! Well,
Hey, Peter. Nice to meet you, Peter.
Nice to meet you.
You always leave me good comments, and I sure appreciate it, man.
Hey, Mitch, can I put a plug in for Night Train?
Sure.
I think Night Train, if you can correct me, I think he goes live tonight. I want to say 7 o'clock. He does an FPV thing. So just if anybody's interested later on, not to take anybody away from your show, but I know that he goes on later on tonight. So
okay, yeah, I do this to till 8 o'clock.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guy.
I wasn't sure how long you were on for.
Oh man, it's like trying to just get a time slot in this madness, in this mayhem. Well, what happened to Spike? He disappeared.
I'm here, man.
And we got somebody's there. I got somebody sideways in there. Oh, it says Spike.
There it
That's
is.
me,
He's
man.
messing with
Hello?
his camera. Hey, what's up, Spike?
I'm just adjusting myself. Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, okay. I see all kinds of things. There you go.
Can
Hey,
you
if you're
see me?
we don't need to know if you're adjusting yourself there, Spike.
Can you see? You can see me all right?
No.
I see black.
Black?
But we
Hang
can
on.
hear you, and I'm going to get into my control room and crank up your volume here.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's crank up your volume. Okay.
It must be
All right,
dark in
Jack.
Australia.
Hang on. Oh, I got it facing the wrong way. Hang on, I get the camera right.
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
All
right.
Spike.
Because what I've decided to do, guys, is I'm doing it on the phone. So later, when the sun comes up and I go walkabout, I want to show you something. Yeah, and also before we get started, I guess I should say, hello, I'm an actor from fucking England. And it's bloody true, we don't exist.
Oh man. Hey, I'm glad you met.
I got your tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, g'day, Peter, mate. G'day, how are you, man?
G'day, Spike.
Hello, Aussie.
Nice to be here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
mate. You too, man. I was just having a quick look at your channel, and I noticed. Excuse me to take over any conversations.
Don't worry.
I noticed, Peter, that you've got the Rode Wireless Go in your GoPro Hero 7. Just want to know how that went, and because I'm really seriously considering getting that.
Very happy with it so far. Works really well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Because and they're easy to like I mean you could set your GoPro on anywhere, leave it on the roof of your car, for instance, and walk away, and the sound is with you because it's wireless.
Yeah, it's got a range of up to around about 70 meters, I think, or 230 feet or so. But the only real limitation, you have to be within line of sight. Like if you turn your back on it,
Yep.
if you have your body between the transmitter and the receiver, if you're any distance away from it, sort of like 20 or 30 meters away, the sound will drop out.
It will drop out, right? So you
Yeah.
got to be facing the camera.
Yeah, as long as you're facing the camera, it's great. Yeah, excellent.
Oh, I guess you'd have to learn to walk backwards then.
True, that's right.
Flip the mic behind your head.
Yeah.
That might work, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a thought, isn't it? Because you can clip it on the side of your hip or something, your right hand side of your hip, or left, or on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that might be still line of sight, so to speak. It's a really, really cool microphone. Hey, I'm really, really keen to get it because even for vlogging when herbing around on the motorbike in there, I reckon it'd be good.
Yeah,
They
that's the size of the
Little bag.
both the transmitter and the receiver fit in there.
they
Yeah,
both
it's all-
they both fit in there.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just show you that.
pull
That's
it out.
tiny.
Joe. You look it on him, Mitch, because it is a good little microphone. The Rode Wireless Go, it's called, everybody. And you know what? Listen to this, everyone. I don't know if you're going to write it. There it is. There, look at that.
Yeah,
See, that's the receiver and the transmitter.
the transmitter with the
Where
little
it's tiny.
thingy on it.
Yeah, and it's got a built-in microphone.
Oh,
and
you don't even have to run a microphone to it.
No,
No,
it's got a
it's
built-in. Yep.
It's got a microphone built in the top of the transmitter.
Are the
Yep.
antennas internal?
Yeah,
Yep. It's just that little box that you see. Rode. If you're going to look into it, Rode Wireless Go. And also too, the other one is you can plug in a little lavalier microphone into it if you want to,
that's right.
and
That's
headphones. And
Yeah,
headphones. Is that
that's
right,
the
Peter? Yeah. Yeah.
No headphones.
No headphones, righto.
No.
Yep. So yeah, that's one. And there's a fella on the internet. He's listen to this, everyone. He's really, really good. His name's the channel's called the Everything Man. The Everything Man.
Yeah, I've
And he
seen
does
him.
yeah. Have you seen him, Peter?
Yeah,
Yeah, mate. And he does. He did a review on it, and I noticed that he had a walking away with his back to the setup, and it was still transmitting.
yeah. It will for a certain distance, but once you get sort of maybe 20 or 30 meters away, it will drop out. Yeah.
Right. That's what it was then. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I got mine. I've got this Comica.
Yes.
It's dual channel, and the thing is heavy. I mean, it's all solid metal. And I bought this last year before the Rode came out, and this thing is got a range of probably 500 feet. It's really tremendous, but it's bigger, and it's heavy, and it doesn't have a built-in microphone. The microphone, you need this receiver for the microphone too. So
Yeah. Right.
that Rode, the size of the Rode is very attractive.
Yeah.
No.
It is, man. It's really cool, mate. I reckon you'll end up with one in the next week or two.
You know what? I don't use it all that often.
When you do your walk and talk, what do you do there?
I just use the vlogging rig with the GoPro and the mic adapter, and I've been using the Rode Video Micro with the Dead Cat on it. It's
righto, man.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, a good setup.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I really don't have the use for a wireless mic as much as I thought I would when I thought I was going to do more commercial type work back in the earlier days of drones, when we all thought we were going to get paid $1,000 to go take a picture of a house. Remember those days?
Not that long ago.
Yeah. Thanks.
So how are you, Mr. Hope? G'day, Chris. How are you? And the other guys on the panel. G'day. How are you?
Good day, Mr. Spike. It's good to see you.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Chris, I was watching, I think, a video when you were chasing boats recently, or not recently. I don't know how long ago it was, but that was a really cool video. It was actually probably one of your more recent videos.
It's probably 3 or 4 good videos ago. We do the Sunday morning sunrise and with some
It's a great
guys.
spot you got there down by the lake there.
It's pretty sweet, yeah. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, man. Yeah.
I just think I just don't want to. I flew under the bridge one time. I just don't want to do it again.
Yeah, right. It's pretty scary stuff underneath anything or through anything. You know, you give credit
Right.
where credit's due for all those that do. Good on them.
Yeah, good on them. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking, and you think, oh, we're gonna lose signal or what, bump into some bloody thing. Especially when you're over water. You know, it's okay if you bump into something and fall down on the ground.
I feel better losing at the card table than I do at the boat ramp.
Hey,
I thought I
Troy,
had a. I'm
sorry,
sorry.
Chris. I just wanted to make mention that your lighting, Centroid, is really, really dark, man. You know, the picture of you.
Yeah, it's I'm under the government protection witness program right now.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I thought I saw sort of a wanted thing going on somewhere. Yeah.
Mark is hiding from Teeny Weeny.
Oh, no, I don't hide from Teeny Weeny. I if I ever see Teeny Weeny up close and personal, Teeny Weeny will never ever be seen again.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, what's up,
Oh,
Mike?
hey, Art, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Right.
Oh,
Hey,
good boy.
Spike. Good to
How are
see
you?
you.
Yeah, you too, big fella.
We get, you know what? We get any more people on the panel, I'm going to pull a Ken Hearn. You know, just leave you all alone.
Well, I was afraid there was going to be an Australian takeover there for a bit, Mitch.
Yeah. I was asking Mars if you wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, he's getting his fiber optic today, apparently. So he's got to wait on that, apparently.
Yeah, it's going to make a big difference. That is.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Great.
I'm trying to keep up with the chat here.
Yeah, that's your job, Mitch. We'll
I
look after
guess.
everything else, mate. No worries.
I need a job anyway.
Well,
Sorry.
I just got back from vacation in southeast Colorado. Got some drone flying in. Water towers next on Art Code Drone Solutions.
Mars says he can't see you, Spike, for some reason. Well,
Yeah, I was wondering. You had questions about OBS and stuff. Do you think maybe you have to capture a new window since things have changed? Because I don't see Art either at this point.
Oh well, that's all in
no, wait.
Google. That's all in Google Hangouts. If you make your
yeah.
you have to make your window wider.
Spike's in there now.
Yeah. That's not. I'm only using OBS as a source of a virtual cam for Hangouts.
Okay, gotcha.
Unlike what you're doing, bring it in now. Do you use a mixer or do you just use a USB mic?
I'm using this mic here.
Is it plugs in by USB?
It plugs in by USB, and I bring it in as an audio input.
Yeah, and see that's where if I did that, I wouldn't have the problem I'm having, and that is that my audio is coming in through a mixer, and when I try to do the Hangouts, I get just god awful echoing delay in my headphones, and no matter how I set it up, I just can't get rid of it. So I do it this way when I do Hangouts. It works out okay.
And my issue is with Google Hangouts going, I'm going to have to resort to using Skype, which was what I always wanted to do anyway, because I like to have the separate things. Now, since the last time I remember you helped me test, I've since boosted my computer capabilities to the point where it's pretty much on steroids. I should be able to easily run 3 or 4 Skype windows, video, and I'm running actually 280 Mbps upload at this point also. So
oh wow,
huge. That's huge.
And I'm actually spending less. I went from Spectrum to Verizon, spending less, and I literally increased my speed by tenfold.
Yeah, I wish I had that available where I'm here. All I got is Spectrum.
Yes, fiber optic is amazing. But yeah, the only thing is that when I redid my computer and reinstalled OBS, I think I reinstalled the wrong version because it doesn't have the NDI input. So I've got to redo that so I can bring in the Skype calls. But
okay.
I know a lot of people are going to the Zoom feature, but with you only get one guest for free. Other than that, to have multiple guests, you have to spend something like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And at this point, I need those. I need every penny I can save for spare parts.
Yeah, I noticed. It was funny on your live stream the other night when I got in there late, but I got in and Lewis was building and needed a standoff.
Oh yeah.
And like you, I went wild on Amazon. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I said, just send me send me a box of the 3Ms, the 2M standoffs, 3M bolts, the 2M bolts, the washing, the heat shrink, the box of hook up silicone wire. Give me the 26, give me the 30. And I don't think I spent maybe $70, $80 for all that stuff, but damn, if that didn't come in handy when I was doing
I mean, my first build, I realized I needed all the tools too. I needed the soldering station, the heat gun, I needed all that. I think I spent almost twice as much on the tools and the setup of the spare parts than I did on the freaking quad. So, and then just recently, I just got done pulling the trigger because I have my first build, then I built the backup, and just yesterday I said, I need a backup for my backup.
You can't have too many of these.
I know. I'm going down that dark road. If you look at all these guys who do live streams, and on their back wall they got dozens of them, hanging on their wall, and I'm afraid that'll be me someday.
It will, because I mean, I haven't even tried. I've got 7 of them now, including the whoops. I mean, I've got 3 whoops and 4 regular drones. I just got here. Hold on a second. I built this thing too.
Mike
Hey
Mike
guys.
Rose, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mike Rose.
Hey, Mike.
Hey Mark.
Hey, how you
Say
doing,
hello
man?
to everybody.
Pretty good. Hello, Art.
Mike.
Art Cole.
Yes.
So,
Mike.
Brent. Hello, Mr. Brent.
Mike.
It's Mark.
There it is. Oh, nice.
Mike and Spark.
That's a Tyro 79 $79.
What's
3-inch.
That's a 3-inch, yeah.
That's a 3-inch.
Okay.
And I built that while I was waiting for some of the parts to come for my Marmot. And I saw this thing. I saw a good review on it and I have the 99, which I've only got about 5 flights on right now because, like I say, it's just. So I ended up throwing this together, and it took me a couple hours to build it. I didn't even bother doing a video on it because it's everybody and their brother has videos on these things, but it has smart audio and all the goodies, and I put an RXSR receiver, so I've got telemetry and I took it out next to my house and I did a line of sight flight with it, and it on a little 3S 650 battery. It's terrific, and for $80 you can run it into a tree and not feel bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So
Hey, Mitch.
yes.
Most ladies like 6 inches.
Oh,
It's a family show, Art.
hey, Scully. Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, Scully's
Scully's in the house.
Scully.
Hey, Scully.
That's the comedian in him.
There you go.
Well, this is we got 8 guys here tonight. We got 8 people in here.
Scully's got his lights on. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Night.
Hey,
I
Mike.
love your shirt.
Hey, Mike Rose.
Mate.
Yeah, Mark.
You might be getting a couple of visitors in a couple of weeks. Apparently, you know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Vale's coming to town. Right?
Yeah, I'll be picking her up, and she's
Yeah.
She's trying her best to convince me to hook up with you so she can meet you. Well, I would like to meet you too, but
Yeah.
that means I just have to drag her along.
I mean, we could either just grab lunch or try to fly somewhere or whatever.
Twist
anything.
my arm. Twist my arm.
Be nice just to say hello.
Yeah.
No.
You mean
You know-
fly a quad? Oh, do we have to?
Night
It's a
Train
pretty
stuff.
bloody huge panel you got on today.
I'll tell you, you can't get a word in edgewise. Night Train,
Yeah.
says he wants to pull the trigger on that new Diatone 3-inch, and I've been watching some of the videos of those things. These little 3-inch quads go 100 plus miles an hour,
Yeah,
but they have one, I think, that actually has the that new what do they call it, the Tarsier Cadex camera that actually has two cameras, two distinct little cameras inside one little housing, and one of them is a 4K DVR.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that little drone looks like a tremendous little 3-inch.
Well, I almost, instead of building a full 5-inch, I was going to build a 2-3-inch a Cinewhoop, and the camera you buy is like $50. And now I don't think it's a 4K, but it's a high definition OSD camera with an onboard DVR, so that it records the footage like a FPV HD camera would, without all the information on it, and you just record it to the card.
Yeah, well, this has that here.
Yeah,
This,
and that's nice. That's probably the same camera. In fact, I'm looking at it right now.
it's a Cadex Turtle.
Yep, that's the one.
And interestingly enough, I put it in my build video. I had no place to mount the board that came with this thing, but I did manage to put a heat shrink around it and get it right underneath the top of the camera there.
Well, there you go.
And the SD card is just right on the side.
That's good.
And it works great. And I found out about that camera from this thing. This little this one that I started out with, this little there it is, the Beta FPV. That also has that same Cadex Turtle camera in there, and it makes great little videos.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to bug out. I hear the boss just came in, so
Thanks for joining me, man.
yeah, no problem. And
Take
everybody
care,
on
Mark.
the
Good to see you,
panel,
Mark.
nice to see you all. Everybody in the chat, I'll talk to you later, and have a good day. Take care.
Hooroo, man.
Right.
Hooroo.
Bye bye.
Hooroo.
Oh, hey, Gary, I didn't see you there.
Yeah. Hey, this is the first time we've been on together. Usually I can't hear you.
Right. The audio. Nobody's come in yet, though, since I've been here.
Well,
That's screwed up.
we're good. We're all good.
Mike, do you know Peter Carroll?
No, I don't. Is he the other Aussie guy?
Yeah, Peter's the one. Peter's up here on the panel.
Right. I know the name. I've seen your name plenty of times, but never have seen you.
Been hanging around for a while, so I thought I'd join in.
Yeah, good to see you, Peter.
God, Peter was my what were you, Peter? My third subscriber or something like that.
I think in the first 10, I think definitely.
Oh God, yeah, and it's great to finally get to meet you. I'm glad you decided to come in today because you're always there. You come in, comment on all my videos, and you're always in the chat. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I went crazy earlier on the week and bought a webcam, so I thought I'd give it a try.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Cool.
it looks sharp and your bandwidth is great. There's no
What sort of camera is it, Peter?
It's a Logitech C922, I think it is.
Yes, I've been reading up about the C922 and the BIOS or whatever they call it. Yeah, that's the next one on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I've got.
Yeah, the later, they're both of them are really, really good. The 4K, except the price difference is a couple of $100, I think. There.
Yeah, I was originally going for the 920, but the good guys here had this 922 on special for $99.
Oh man, you've done really well. Because I've been looking, on eBay. I've seen them for about a couple of $100. That's good. Less than half price. That's good, Peter. Well done, mate.
You're using your phone now, aren't you, Spike?
Yes, I am, and I'm in the dark a lot because it's dark.
Yeah.
It's 6:42, and the sun's just coming up. In a minute, I'm going to unplug and we go walkabout. I want to show you a couple of things that I've been up to the past week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, moving a shed, making a concrete floor, and all that sort of stuff. So,
Nice.
yeah. And if I turn you around, like I keep talking, and I guess you'll see me on in the thing. I turn you around, and you can see in the chat anyway. You'll catch up on stream. That I can point it at the computer there, you see, and you can see what we're all looking at. because I was going to play the beginning of a video I've been working on. Is that all right, Mitch? Can I do that? It's only about 60, not even 60 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, but you don't need a
yeah.
point that. Yeah, you can you just do a screen capture?
I'll do it like this, mate. See that? And
Oh, okay.
Can you see the screen
Yeah,
all right?
it's on a
Yeah,
phone.
let me lock it onto you there. Okay.
All right. Okay, so as you can see, if I just turn that light out, as you can see, I'll just hold it square if I can. There we go. So as you can see, I've got Final Cut that's sitting there. Here we go, and I'll just turn that one on there. Right, it's got my intro, normal intro that I've the recent new one, but what it goes into, it's drones. It's drones. This is the latest drone video I'm working on.
Do we have to sign a disclaimer that we won't publicly tell? Okay.
No, you're right. It's not on. It's not on anything yet. It's not up and on. What? Listen. G'day, world. Welcome to Australia. Outback, West Australia. There you go. That's just a little bit of intro there.
That's cool.
Now, Spike, did you make that intro yourself?
Yes, sir, I did. Just out of a whole bunch of different assets and things, I just stopped the video there. Yes, Mike, I did, mate, and just sort of what do you call it? Going around the internet, looking for free assets, slowly collecting different ones, and then it's like cooking. I consider it like cooking a cake. Put a little bit of this ingredient in, a little bit of that ingredient in, and all of a sudden, bam! You got yourself a cool sort of thing, you know. Yeah, it's good. I really, really enjoy it. It takes me forever to do it, but this one is a big one. It means a lot to me. This is all about the NLD stuff, and I promised those guys I'd put something together with test flights. The other video that I've got up is just a little knock up sort of. I didn't think I was going to make a video with it, and they adopted it, put it on their website. And it's got about 3,000 views from like they're the main external source to my channel. So I'm really rapt about that, and that's why I really want to get this one up and out, so that they'll maybe do the same again with that one. So cool. Yeah. Yep.
Well, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. Thanks, mate. You can unlock me if you've got me still locked. But
I did.
Yeah, good. But while I got the stage, I just want to say, "G'day, Mars."
So Mars is getting fiber today, huh?
Yeah.
Also, Paul Murray, hello.
Mars, how much? Write it in the chat, mate. I'll just got to get rid of this. How much bandwidth are they promising you again with this fiber optics business? You know, I can't believe that was Centroid over 200.
That's crazy.
Man. That's fantastic. Golly gosh. Huge. Who's got the phone?
Oh,
I hear music.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
They reminded him he's got another vacation starting tomorrow.
What do you got going, Chris?
Oh, I just saying they're just calling to remind Art that he's got another vacation starting tomorrow.
Oh, where are you off to tomorrow, Art?
No, I'm back at work now. I've got a regular week next week, and then it's 3 days because of 4th of July holiday. So I've got Friday off, so I got a nice long weekend.
All right.
Did you get any fishing in, Art?
Yes, I did. I caught a bunch of bluegill, carp. I caught a 13-inch crappie. I caught an 18.25-inch largemouth bass.
Wow.
Yeah. And just had a blast. Did some flying. So got a couple of videos I got to work on. And then I've got my fishing videos I got to work on. My underwater camera. Got some great shots of the fish in this little pond. there.
Any
So,
keepers?
well, the largemouth bass would be a keeper because it's over, I think, 15 inches long. So I could have kept it, but I really didn't have a place to store it. And the crappie I could have kept. The bluegills, yeah, I could have kept the bluegills. They were all around 6 inches long. They were big brutes. The carp, they were around 14, 15 inches long, but there are some grass carp that are over 30 inches long out there. And I was trying to catch them, and I just could not get them to bite. But as soon as I got home, I went on YouTube and found out how to catch those guys. So next time I'm there, I'm going to catch one of those monsters.
So what are you doing
Yeah,
in your
no,
what are you doing in your spare time, man?
It's amazing how with also like Mike, Art Code, that you have your limitations with the body. How you manage to bloody catch them fish, man. I think that is so cool. So bloody cool. You know, a fish half the size of you, and you manage to drag it out the water there and make it happen. Oh, it puts me to shame, man. The only thing I catch is the gold. If I want to get any fish, I go down to the fishing chip shops.
Yeah, you know, I go to the store and buy fish, and then my son, we live over here on the east coast of Florida, and my son he has a friend that has a huge dollar, big ocean fishing boat.
Right.
I'm talking big, like 55-foot,
Wow.
without outriggers, and I mean, and they go out 30, 40 miles for a day of fishing.
Yeah.
Come home with 3 or 4 or 5, 6 mahi, dolphin, dolphin, mahi, and like that, and spent $2,000 doing it. So that's a very expensive way to get some fish, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta find someone that knows someone that could do it for you much cheaper. I happen to know someone that owns a ranch down southeast Colorado, and he let me stay at his house there on the ranch. And one of his ranch hands took me out to the pond. They've got like it's like a mule. It's a 4-wheel all-terrain type vehicle. That's got a little place in the back where you can put tools and stuff in. And he took me out there, and I'm out there fishing all day, and lunch comes around, he comes by and I'm ready for lunch. And then I'll go get lunch, come back, and he'll be out there mowing the lawn, and come and get me and say, "Are you ready to go?" "Sure, let's go back out there."
That's a hell of a deal that you have.
Yeah.
You look like you had a really, really good time, man.
Yes, I did.
What good friends they are. What good friends they are.
Yep.
What's their name? What's
Chris
their
Hope
name?
does some,
Give
too.
him a shout out, man. Make him
Oh,
famous.
the guy's name is Rick Enstrom of Enstrom Candies.
All righty.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I guess those M60s you ordered off Amazon come in handy, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
What are they? What are the M60s?
A big
they're-
firecracker.
Big firecracker.
Oh,
Yep.
righty-o.
You remember your
Cool.
mate Mick Dundee? That's how he was doing it out there in New York Harbor.
Okay.
What was the occasion for the firecrackers?
Oh no, it's a joke. Joke.
Oh.
Throw it in the water and all the dead fish come to
Yeah, that's
surface.
right.
Righto. That's how it works.
Mike Kelly's in the house. Hello, Mike. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you.
Hey, Mike. You know,
G'day,
some of the
Mike.
best fish I ever had was walleye cut up in Canada. A
Yeah.
friend of mine did some fishing up there, And man, this fish was the whitest, flakiest fish
Yep.
I've ever eaten in my life.
We
Terrific.
have that here in Colorado, and I've caught quite a few here, and yeah, they are the best eating fish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We had some snook we
Have
caught
you
off in
guys-
Cooper Inlet.
Do you
Pretty
guys
good.
get barramundi up there?
Maybe by I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it served. I've heard of it on some of these cooking shows, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Barramundi, as you guys are talking about, beautiful taste fish. That is probably one of the best tasting fish. Like a Scotch fillet in beef. Scotch fillet's a good cut. Well,
Right.
the old barramundi is beautiful. My brother actually made me a barramundi skin wallet. How's that?
no kidding. Could it have another name? Do you think they might call it something different here?
I don't know, man. I've always only known it as barramundi.
Never heard of it.
I'll look that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody
barramundi.
Google it because inquiring minds want to know here.
Barramundi. Yeah, barramundi.
Oh, okay. I found it. Barramundi fish.
There you go. There
Okay.
you go. Yeah. Whereabouts is it?
Oh,
all around
okay.
the world, Art?
Oh, my goodness.
Is it available to the upovers?
Barramundi fishing in Florida. OsceolaOutback.com.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there you go. There you go. They must have brought some over, like, little
Oh.
fishy.
Okay.
Well, we have Mino Fly joined us. Hello, how are you?
Fishy
And-
business.
Okay. It's an
It says sea
Asian
bass.
sea bass. Yep.
Is that what barramundi is? Sea bass? Ah,
Uh-huh.
no wonder you like it.
Ah,
That's
there you go.
tremendous fish.
You like that? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a funny
like it
feeling
too.
that they probably had a just another name for one of the same fish.
Yeah. They're found in northern Australia and New Guinea.
Well, how do we get them over
Okay.
here?
They probably ship them here. It's
Amazon.
probably pretty expensive too.
Amazon Prime, you can get them in 2 days.
There you go.
Mars has brought some. Oh, Mars says that Mino Fly is one of his friends. Well, we gave him a blue jeans just for you.
There
Just
you
for
go.
you.
G'day, me no fly, mate. I'm representing the Aussies here on the panel.
God, we got more Aussies than anything else here.
Got one Canadian.
One Canadian.
Oh, there we go.
A token. We have our token Canadian.
All right, we got people that say "hey" and "oi."
Yeah.
Hey, oh, you do that really well, mate. You've been practicing art.
Crikey.
Okay.
You got to get yourself one of those, Spike.
I do. I got to get. I'll get it all, mate. I'll get it all later.
You got to get one of these little soundboards.
Yeah.
I thought Lloyd Mendon might be on with us tonight. I ended up on his live stream for about 15 minutes. I felt sorry for him. His guest didn't show up, and then he had somebody else came on. I think Chris, that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I come on before you did.
Yeah, Chris Hope came on and kept him busy for a while, and then Chris had to go, and my heart went out to him because I know what it's like to be sitting there when you expected people to help you out. And you got nothing in the world planned.
Yeah.
And nobody shows up, so I went ahead and jumped on, and but I didn't have my studio set up. I just did it from my office, so I didn't have my sound effects machine. But when Lloyd and I get on together,
Yeah.
it's a battle of the sound effects machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lloyd was supposed to be on my other channel, Art's Place, last Sunday, but he had issues with power. And then when he got his power back, his internet went out again. So
And then he had plumbing problems last week too.
Oh boy! And then, so I had to do the show solo, and I got about 55 minutes in, which is not bad for.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Unless you even if you have an agenda, like guys like Ken Herron on his show, he's always got people
right
on there with him to bounce things off of. To sit by yourself staring at a computer screen, and be entertaining is
It's easy, Mitch. It's easy. I did
well, for
14
you it
hours
is,
of
Spike.
mate.
It's
I
easy
did
for you.
14 hours of it, man.
I know you did, but
You just crap on, mate. Crap on. And crap on.
yeah.
You're an interesting guy, Mitch. Don't underestimate yourself.
Thanks,
you
Mike.
might personally feel stressed about doing that, but turn the lights out. Turn the lights out, and then make sure you got your cup of tea, and away you go. You know.
Wait a minute. I got a switch here. And they all
right. What's going on?
I just turned all the lights out, and I'm still wait a minute, I didn't get them all. There, now my green screen isn't lit. Is it lit all the way? You start to you see it kind of
cracking up. Yeah.
Kind of cracking up there. You see that?
Yeah.
And if I wait a minute, hang on. Carry on, folks.
Okay, we will.
Gee, he took the headphones off.
There we go.
Flash of light. Yeah, look out. And I see already. Don't you feel sort of more confident?
Now I'm in the dark, but there's still some light getting onto the green screen. See it?
Yeah, probably the reflection from your monitor.
Yeah.
That's always what it is.
But that's what it looks like with me sitting in the dark.
Yeah, right. It doesn't look half as good.
No. Now, where did I put the button for the light? Did it fall on the floor?
There. Have you got those
Yes,
Philips?
it did.
Have you got those Philips Hue light things? Have you, Mitch?
I do around the house, but not here in the studio. I just have these cheap. They were like for 3 of these lights from Amazon was like $120, and they came with stands, and they're like 10-inch panels.
Yeah,
and they have they have the yellow color bulbs and the white color bulbs, and you can do anything, any combination of them. But they have a remote control. It comes with them. So if I just push the on button here, bingo, I'm lit up again.
You'll have to tell me about those sometime, Mitch.
Are they dimmable?
Yeah, but not. I don't think I can dim them from the remote. I have to go to each individual light.
They're good studio photography lights. And
they're actually kind of more of a hobbyist. They're not the best quality, but they're certainly good enough for what I need here.
Yeah. I tell you, Mitch, you need to get a suntan, mate.
A what?
You need to get a suntan. You're looking a bit pale there. Have a look.
I really do. It's these lights. I really living in Florida here.
Out, man. You look like death warmed up, mate. Sorry.
Too bright?
No, not too bright. You just white. You're pale skin. You're really pale.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you can see my nose here, but I had skin cancer on my nose. I had a melanoma removed a couple of years ago. That was a scare because that kind of stuff can kill you.
Yep.
I got one chopped off too.
Yeah, and I've been consciously since then trying to make sure I don't get a lot of sun because luckily we got that one real early.
Yeah.
But they had to cut a 1/2 inch at least, if not maybe a 5-inch circle of skin off my nose.
Yeah, it hurt. Did it hurt?
Yeah. And they did a graft. They cut a piece of skin off my shoulder and grafted it in there. And damn, I don't ever want to go through that again. So
the camera on this is pretty good. I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to go right up close to the camera.
Yeah, it's iPhone cameras are terrific. Oh, I see. Yeah, you got the same deal I have.
Yeah, you see the scars, same top off, mate.
Right.
What is my
my goddaughter?
Looks bloodshot. I don't know if I get closer to this if you can see it or not.
Look at Spike's eye down there in the corner.
Let's see it. Let me see it. You can see the scar. Can you see it? Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Till you said it, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2-3 years ago, and it's healed up nicely. But when the light hits it a certain way, you can still see that that cutout. I have a somewhere here. I have a picture of me with that huge bandage on my nose.
Cardosa Media has just joined us in the chat.
Oh,
That's cool.
Oh, how you doing?
Hey, mate. How are you?
yeah.
Hello. I got my eye on you, I tell you.
You want to see video at another level? You got to go to Cardosa Media. Cardosa
Oh,
Media.
he does some beautiful stuff.
Man,
Yeah. A really good producer, isn't he?
oh, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to when you surf the internet, we check each other's channels out and stuff, and you come across something, every now and again that really just stands out. Like you say, hats off to Mr. Cardosa Media. Fantastic. RC Dude, FPV UK is in the house.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Man. They're growing, Mitch. You're growing, brother. Whiz bang.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, how are you? Yeah, we were on together the other night for the first time. That was
what a gentleman he is.
Yes,
Him and his dogs. Hey, amen to you, Ken, Mr. Whizbang. How are you? Excellent. What a beautiful. You're having a good show tonight, Mitch. You got some really lovely people in the chat, and you got an awesome bloody panel, man.
I know nothing but beautiful people, man.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Like attracts like, brother. You got to give RC Dude a bloody whatever you giving him. What do you give out? I got my blue super person case. What do you
just blue jeans. Oh yeah, look at that. We have a white man in the house. We can't have that. We have to have all blue men. We need blue men.
No nudie rudies.
Okay, we now have given him some blue jeans. So
All
try
right,
it again, and hopefully that'll work.
I got my blue jeans on. I got my old blue jeans on. You know that one, Mr. Hope, wouldn't you?
Roger that.
Hey, I tell you what, I love your accent, man. You have just got such a beautiful American accent, Is that what they call it?
Much obliged, Spike.
Is that called a Southern accent? Is that as classified as a Southern American accent?
Well, it's Chris's accent.
It's Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminds me of this. No offense, man. No offense.
Oh,
we
no,
all
man.
see you. We all know that you're a beautiful man. It
Trust
reminds me of swamp people.
Yeah. That's South Louisiana talking. I'm in East Texas, about an hour and a half east of Dallas, and I've got it. I don't know how I got it. That's just how I wasn't raised on a ranch. I went to a little old school.
Yep.
And that's just how it turned out.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, man. You speak lovely. It's nice to hear it.
I can talk a little Cockney from time to time if I'm needed to.
Well, do you have in Australia? Do you have really way different dialects as you go to different places that we might not pick up on, but they're very, very evident to you?
Yes, there definitely is. Like if you go to Tasmania, there's a bit of a twang. Hey, we have Mr. Fish Pond Cleaner Man.
Hey, what's up? Carlos, how you doing?
Good. I'm trying to figure out how to do this on my computer, and it says to allow Google Hangouts and some talking stuff. And I can't.
Hey, always say yes, what the hell?
Yeah, but I don't even know where it is.
Oh, but you're already on, so evidently you've allowed.
This is my phone that I'm on, but over here, let's see. I go to your.
You're doing the same as me, Carlos. That's the way, man.
Same issue. Look, I'm
gonna
here.
open up. I'm gonna open up.
You
my
see,
back door.
select allow both Google Talk plugins. I don't see where to do that other than it's pointing here. Does that make any sense to you guys? Or can you see that?
I'm going to step out and come back in because
Oh, no.
It screws up every time somebody
Someone new comes in, they screw you up. That's terrible.
I'll be right
you want me to leave? I can back out.
No, I think it's probably too late. Mike, that happens to Mike whenever he's on Hangouts. Nobody else, just Mike Roche. I don't.
You got a setting somewhere.
I don't get it.
I think it's New York.
Oh, thanks. Could be.
Yeah, it's New York.
Rough neighborhood.
How you doing? How you
doing?
You
know, when you drive into Brooklyn from Queens, it says, "Welcome to Brooklyn." Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it. I'm from Philly, but it's been a long time.
Similar.
And it is similar, but I left Philly in 1966. But I hear that accent. It sounds like home. I listen to Mike.
Guys, I'm about to take you on walkabout.
Oh, good. Let's go for a walk.
Around.
We'll get some exercise while we're at it. I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you, Spike, before you go for a walk.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you this.
Oh,
That was.
oh boy.
That
Wait
was.
a minute.
man,
Can
Nick.
we see that? What is that about? What
That
happened?
was when I had the melanoma removed from my nose a few years
Oh.
ago. We were talking about. Spike
Sloan
said
Kettering?
I looked pale, so I said, "Yeah, I
Wow.
stay out of the sun now because I had this this stupid skin cancer." And
I work at one of the Sloan Ketterings in Long Island, and unfortunately, white people shouldn't be in the sun as much as they like.
yeah.
No, and I'm not trying to be racist, but
No,
no, you're absolutely
fair
right.
skinned people is what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're
When I mean
absolutely
white,
right.
I mean fair skinned.
No, I get you.
And most of the patients there are light skinned.
Yeah. Blue eyed.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
here's
yeah.
one with a
Yeah.
little olive.
You
All right,
got-
let me
you
shut up
got
so
me
we
on
hear
the
it.
camera there, mate.
Yes,
So
sir.
we do.
And what you're looking at in the background, I don't know if I can, because the sun hasn't come up yet. We've got a few clouds over the back there. You see them over the back? I'll see if I can. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
No, I can't zoom in. So the sun will come back, come up out over there, and it's going to look quite nice when it does. Like there's my ute in front of us, and look above the cab roof of the ute that's just in front of the foreground. Behind that is a bunch of clouds, and the sun's going to pop up through there. So when it does, it'll make all pink clouds. It'll be a nice sunrise. So
Right,
I'll show
that's
you
pretty.
that. But what you've got here, you got my ute, you got the trailer, and then this little shed that you see here, right here, this one here is the one that we moved. And
But you said this little shit.
Hey.
Sorry.
and you can see my boxing there. And what we did was, we put a little concrete floor all through here, all around that shed there. So this is a little shed that we put here. We've moved that shed from another spot because we had to clear the way for a giant carport. You can see the bus in the background. There's me little concreting and all the rest of it, the stuff that we've got there that we do, the concrete factory. And we walk around through here. We got the cockatoo pond, all the trees around, the gum trees and stuff in our backyard. It's lovely. And this one here goes back up. We got veggie garden. Look at the veggie garden. Oh, wifey looks after that mostly.
Where's the
this is
kookaburra?
here. It's what we call our raised garden bed. Now, if I come back here, it's a 4-poster. We've got the bed end at both ends. You can see that. And I made it out of just tin and whatnot. We just put that tin there and we raised it up. And inside here, we've got some look at this, eh? Hang on, I'm open up there. Got the cauliflowers going on. This is our winter crop and some carrots and
My
a
wife
few
would
veggies
love
going
that.
on in there and a bit more over here. We've got the beetroot going on. This is our rainwater tank, this one. And,
Where?
we've got the beetroot.
Let me
and
see the
whatnot
rainwater
going on in
tank. Ice
there.
pipe?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
our
I missed
rainwater
it.
tank. We just cut it in half. There's one
Oh,
half is
it
there.
was a rainwater tank. I got you.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
the other half just there. So we've got the two halves.
Well, that looks like a full-time job.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a lot of rental. Look, if I come around here, look at the house. That whole back section of the house, we're going to lift it up, raise it up. We're going to put there's a lot of stuff, and in the front there, this house is 110 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, so
It's almost as old as you. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Old as me. Wow. And you can see in the backyard if you haven't seen. The one I did was this is this is my next thing here I'm doing. Thanks for letting me do this.
Oh,
this one here is
it's interesting.
We get to
I've
travel without
formed
having
it
to get
up.
on a plane.
And
That's
I've
great.
crushed all my rocks up and there's the rubble in there, and I put some Rio bar in there, and then we're going to make a bit more of a concrete pathway instead of the dirt through into the woodshed. See, got a little woodshed there because they are winter and whatnot.
Wood what?
Yeah, and then I got this is the wood here. We got to chop up all the wood, and then over the back here is that's the container, and this is where we're going to build. That little shed I showed you before, that was, hang on, quickly come up here. That was sitting just there. And we lifted it up, put it on my trailer, went through those gates, drove it around and dumped it off there. But from the shed you can see here, if I step back, I know it's probably all wizzy. Step back, and then from the shed over there, I'm trying to use my hand as a pointer. There we go. From the shed there, all the way across, over the top of the container, through to that concrete.
Got a lot.
That's 18 meters. And that's we've got 3 cars and a trailer and a couple of other bits.
How much property is that in general? Like
And
an
you got a
acre and a
recliner out
half?
there. Look at the recliner right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the big old
cool.
seat. You sit under the stars, Mick.
It gets a little wet, doesn't it?
Look at the sun. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Man.
Oh,
It's
you got a
nice.
pretty sunrise this morning.
It's starting to come up, and when it cracks, I'll let you get off me, and then I'll keep an eye on it. And here's a couple of differentials out of a later model car like my Ute, and we're going to sandblast them and bring them up. And they're going in the car. So it's a bit of a mess, my place, but doesn't. We're getting there. We've got Harriet and then Pearl, the chooks up the back there, and that's the bum nut factory back there.
Man, that'd almost be worth a trip out there to visit you.
Yeah, man. We've got a guest bedroom. We've got Mars and
look at
Kaz
that.
coming over in October.
You talk about a getaway. That'd be a getaway.
Yeah, we love it here, man. Like there's population 9 in this little town.
9,
Nothing.
Somebody in the chat said it's you and 8 women. Is that true?
I'll go around the side here because the sun's not going to be too far away now. If I go around here, wifey's still asleep, so I'm going to keep it quietish. Oh, my front gate's open. I don't know why that is, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, the other 8 people aren't going to come in.
No, I made this.
Oh my God! Hey, Jim.
I made this gate. Hey, I made this gate and the whole fence, that front fence for that matter. But look at that. I was quite proud of that gate. Hang on, I'll turn around here. I was quite proud of that gate there. Look at that. It's a moon gate, I call it. But that's the front of the house, and you can see we've got the solar panels at the top. But you can see this. I carved that sign out. Shabby Shack.
Shabby
Shack.
And we got the typical front wooden porch. Got to extend that around the side of the house. So, but that's a little. That's how I lived.
That's
that
cool.
wasn't here when we first moved.
Wow,
to
look at those
that
clouds and the
tower.
color. Nice.
Man, he's got his
I like
very
it.
own. Is that a cell phone antenna right in your front yard?
Looks like you're in for a beautiful sunrise spot, Spike.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to get myself in a good spot for you. This is a nice.
Start your
sunfield.
Mavic Pro Ferrari up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I could probably get the drone up, hey, couldn't I?
Easily.
Yeah.
Climb up that, Spike.
No, you don't
Yeah,
want to do that.
I'll do that. No worries, Carlos. I'll do that for
Safety.
you, man. No
Well,
worries.
just the drone part, but don't climb up anything, please.
But you've seen my you've seen a couple of videos I've done, and that's the tower I orbit.
I like the
And,
angel one that you did on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, the moon's behind the clouds. Because normally the moon's up as well sometimes over there. But there we go, guys. This is coming
Look at
up.
that. That's nice, man.
I'll stay on it, and then you guys can all chat, and then in the
Yeah, it's
corner when
pretty.
the sun cracks when it pops through there, it's looking good, isn't it? It
Oh,
happens
yeah.
so quickly, as we all know. This gold now, it just sort of goes so quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yes,
But
it
if I
is.
walk out on the street and I pan down that way, you can see the big shed, the big white. It's a grain bin. And probably not with the pale sky in the background, but that's a grain bin right directly down the end of that road. At the end of that road there, it's a big grain bin, and it's barley's in that. And if I pan over here, this is the back angle of the old hotel, the old pub.
Spike,
There's a
this
bloke
is all
your
yours.
age- There's a bloke your age, Mitch, that lives there, and it still opens. It's still
That
operating
old.
as a pub.
You got somebody in Australia that's that old?
Yeah.
Mitch, you aren't older than like 65, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, I'm older than 65.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
on
okay.
you.
Cool.
Oh dear. Anyway, anywho, but it's great living there. Yeah, great living there.
That's cool.
That building over there in the background is the old school that closed in 1985. And
How far are you
fella
away
lives
from a
over there.
hospital or a doctor?
How far from a hospital and a doctor? We're about 30 kilometers is about, what's that? It's about 20
Half-hour ride?
miles, something.
Okay, so you can get there in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no worries.
And how often do you see any law, like police or any kind of?
Oh, police.
anything like-
We have police. The bread and milk is 25 kilometers away. Hang on, if I go like this, I can talk and see you.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. I'll come around. Hello. Hello.
I like those eyes.
Bread and milk is about 25 k's away as well. Or sorry, is that 25 miles away? Bread and milk, and yeah, we go shopping sort of once a fortnight, something like that, and stock up with our stocks and things. Yeah. But it's like I guess what we call living here is a bit like permanent camping.
No, it's called glamping now. It's
glamping. That's it. Art. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, don't I look so beautiful with that sunground in the hey?
You've always been handsome.
That'll be
I'm here. I've got the old dressing gown on. Look at it. Hey?
That'll be a thumbnail.
Oh man.
Look, you can see it. Hang on.
Can you imagine somebody that doesn't know anything about any of us stumbling across this live stream?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see in the moon. I'm going to hold it dead set at the sky. Up there is the moon. Oh, the clouds are just going over the top of it again. So you got the moon still quite high in the sky, yet over here we have the old sun of Rooney coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So how's the weather? Is it starting to cool off out there now?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this morning is nice, but we've had minus sort of 3 or 4 Celsius, I guess.
Anybody have that conversion on them? What that means?
Well, 32 is 0, right?
Yeah. How cold does it get there in the winter? Is it real cold or just moderate or what?
Not by comparison to you blokes up there in the upper over with your snow and whatnot, but I mean, where I live, it gets down to minus 1, 2, 3 sort of thing at the coldest.
That's like Florida. We get down to maybe 20, 30 degrees here as an average,
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch. Hey, man, I'm gonna cut out. Fixing to get some supper going on here.
Oh, that's okay. Well, thanks for stopping by, Chris.
It's good to see everybody. Nice to meet you.
Sorry, we have a lot of competition on here.
Who's
tonight.
leaving? Chris
None
Hope?
of us can
Is
get
that
a
Chris
word in
Hope leaving?
edgewise.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carlos, sir.
All right, cool.
See you later, Chris.
All right,
See you
Chris.
later,
Thanks
Chris.
for coming, man.
Nice to meet you guys. Take care.
Bye, Chris.
Ta-da, man.
Adios.
So left to right, there's Spike. And no, there's Artco, then Spike, then who's the next gentleman next to Spike and Mitch?
I got to look at the screen because we're all in different
That's
places.
Mr. Carroll.
Peter Carroll.
Peter
Yeah.
Carroll. And
Another
I
fellow
know
Aussie.
Roche.
Mike
the gentleman
Roche.
with the glasses.
Mike Roach.
No, next to him. The
Oh,
young guy
Jim.
with the-
Jim at Above and
Jim?
Beyond. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
G'day, Jim. G'day, Jim, mate. Sorry, I've
He's
been,
the Inspire man.
overtaken.
And next to
But,
Jim and
g'day, Jim.
Mitch is in the middle there.
The only one left is Gary from Brant.
There he is. Gary.
Gary Foster.
Oh, okay. Brant Ariels. Gotcha. All right. Cool.
Okay. Now,
Okay, now that we all introduce each other.
yeah, why not?
Well, I just want to know who's who. There's only a few that I'm not familiar with. You, I know, Artco. What you say your name is?
Art.
Art. That makes sense. Artco.
Oh man. So I've been fiddling with my color balance on my camera. Do I look less pale now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's a little bit
You
better.
look sexy as
A
ever.
little bit better.
Red in there.
A little more. How about that's green and
Carlos, you're blowing
I want
that.
to throw your warm colours up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what I'll do. I figured out how to give myself a sunburn.
Uh-oh.
Walk out
Be
the door.
careful. Blackface.
There.
Yeah.
Now I look like I'm from
Oh, yeah,
Miami, don't I?
Yeah.
You look-
A little
Yeah.
Yontis.
You'd be Mitch Trump.
orange man good. No, I think that's how I'd look if I just sat out in the sun all day every day.
There you go. That looks good. You'll.
Yeah.
Now
I can give myself a little color here. A little more
Yeah,
color. Yeah.
I look a little pale because I
Yeah,
got
well, I am.
You don't look pale at all. Artco,
There we go.
not at
I think
all.
that's probably not bad right there. I don't look as quite as pale, and I
Yeah,
think
you
if
look
I
good.
turn the intensity down a little bit too, that maybe it's just been too bright.
It's a bit.
Jim Crennan and Jim Wallace have joined us.
No, kid, Jim Wallace.
Welcome the show.
Jim, where the hell have you been, man? We haven't seen.
Mitch, I had to do this. This is why I was late. I was charging the car.
Oh,
It's 102 degrees out here today,
And where are you?
Florida.
Oh God, my son lives near Mitch. He's in Orlando. I couldn't tell you exactly where he moved since.
I'm about, what am I, Mitch? About 8 miles
yeah,
south of you?
10 miles south of me. That's about it. Yeah.
So you guys get to fly together?
We
Yeah,
have once. We got
yeah.
together once, and
That's
for
it?
some reason, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wow.
I haven't been doing that much flying. I'm hoping, Jim, to go out to the club field tomorrow morning. But with the wind, I don't. It's
Oh,
stopped
okay.
raining and it's starting to get windier.
You know what happens here, guys? After it hits 90 at about noon or 1 o'clock, then every day between
Rains
2
for a
and
half hour.
yeah, we get the storms.
My father lived in Tampa. He actually lived in Ocala first, then he moved to Tampa. And I remember visiting every summer and rain, half hour,
There's the
hour and a
sun.
half. And then all of a
There's
sudden
the
the sun
sun.
comes out again.
Yesterday, though, that was a torrential rain, wasn't it, Mitch?
Oh man, yeah, and then the flying field up there does get a little soggy too, and that's no fun either. Hey, listen,
No.
while I got Jim Wallace here, I wanted to thank him for sending me these. I love the green screen effect on them. They make them
Yeah.
look transparent, but they're yellow. And he sent me these drone pilot stickers, and
They're cool.
I
cool.
I love drones. Yeah, and I wanted to thank him for that. And I haven't seen Jim. You okay? You've been kind of scarce lately.
Yeah.
He's been putting up some photo videos,
Yeah,
you know.
but that was very nice of him to send me those.
Ooh, that's a beautiful
There you go.
sunrise there,
There's
Spike.
the sunrise.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me lock on that so we can all see it.
Alrighty.
Oh man,
Yeah.
man, this live stream's got it all, doesn't it?
Good morning.
Yep.
Good morning from West Australia world.
Well, that cell phone's working pretty good as a camera like that. That's
Yeah, well, that one's I'm using the front facing camera, and then if which is there's less pixels. Now if I just flick the camera there, that will turn it around to the other camera.
Wow.
Of course, that's looking where the sun's shining
Yes.
up now.
Right.
Is that bus
And, we
functional,
go
I
back-
Spike?
Woohoo! Look at that. It's directly in the sun now. I'm facing the sun. The sun's up. What did you say, Claire?
Does that bus run? I saw a
No,
bus
no,
behind
it
you.
does,
No?
but it
Okay.
does, but we've never had it running. I've only
Gotcha.
acquired that 6 months ago. It's the old shuttle bus. I'll go walk about down there. What we're going to do is at the moment it's storage.
That would be a
There's
great
guy with
camper.
cancer who passed away, and they needed to move it out of his backyard. So for the cost of what it costs to move, it's about
Hey,
400
Mitch,
Australian.
I just got a notification you're live.
Who's alive?
yeah, YouTube day late, dollar short, huh?
It just came up. Mitch is live.
Yeah, that happens to me with Mike from Philly. You know, I mean, I'll get a notification Mike is live, and I'll go on, and the damn stream is 2 minutes from the end. They're really they're screwing up.
There we go. Hello.
Oh, look at this. Hey, you should do a live stream from in the bus. That'd be
From
cool.
in the bus, Gus, eh?
You got a disco ball in there and everything.
We got the whole world in here.
Look at this.
Oh, we got the galahs coming through. That's what you want. You want to see them, the Aussie galahs, man.
You could make a heck of a camper out of that bus.
Oh, we're gonna turn it into a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What, for the
There
other
you go.
7 people in your village?
A disco bus.
Yeah. You can actually look at this. We really got we accidentally hit a bull, so we left the horns on.
It's an airplane
It's
shuttle.
the old shuttle bus, and if you look at the side here, you can actually see the original airplane.
Oh man, where the hell did you get that?
Really?
Yeah, so it's an original bus that used to herb around Perth City. You can see the sign on the side there, Perth shuttle bus, and and it was from around Perth to the local airport. So really, when you think about it, guys, I've thought about this. When you think about it, all the people that have travelled in this bus have either gone or come on an aeroplane the passengers in this bus. So the energy would be just like Artco, I'm going on a holiday. Yeehaw!
Wow, yeah.
Sort of thing. So it'd be really good vibes, this bus. So I'm really happy about that.
It's looking a little New Yorkish though.
Uh-oh.
Spike,
Is it dirty?
It's up on chocks. It's up on chocks.
Oh, okay.
Some of the wheels are gone. Yeah.
I've had that
One of
happen.
those other 11 people stole your wheels.
Yeah.
We've got these. We had to take
Terrible
they're
feeling
dual-
to come back to a
that's
car
dual
with no
wheel
wheels.
setup, and we had to take the outside wheel off of it, just on this side to go on the other side, so that we could have 4 wheels. But it's just sitting there, and there's engines in it and all the rest of it. But like I said, at the moment it's just storage at the moment. But what's happening with that sun? I think the sun's up now. So once it's up, isn't it?
That's too bright. Yeah, it was beautiful sunrise though.
Oh, there we go. So as you said, Mitch,
at
you had a little bit of everything on the channel, the stream this morning.
Oh, man.
Consider me your walking, roving,
horticultural
Australian tour guide.
Yeah, that's it, man.
You're hired, Spike.
Yeah, no
Spike is
problem.
just premiered Friday morning, so we all know that we can get up tomorrow. And it'll be
Yeah, at least we know there's going to be a Friday.
Yeah, it's a future. There is a future, guys. Yes.
Yeah.
I always got a kick out of that.
Trying to
Somebody's
get my
experiencing
stand-up
Friday
views.
and we're still on Thursday.
Yeah.
Spike, is the world flat over on your side too?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Listen, if the world is flat and we're on the top and they're on the bottom, then we're really close to them. How thick do you suppose it is? Could we just dig down a little bit?
If you knock on the ground,
then you'll hear it.
I heard that. I heard it.
The most amazing thing is that there are people that would bet their life on the fact that the world is flat.
You know what?
Yeah, well, their brains are a bit flat, eh?
I'm telling you.
Not flat, smooth. They got enough creases in their brain.
But if I may chime in for a bit, those people that think the world is flat, if that were true, the cats would knock everything off the edge of the planet.
Remember when you were a kid and you thought you could dig to China?
Yeah.
Oh God, didn't we all? Didn't we all?
Bugs
Really?
Bunny did it.
Yeah,
I had
you
a
never
friend
heard that, Al?
I had a friend that planted chicken legs and was waiting for the chicken to grow. He's young. You didn't know better. Strange.
Now I said that everybody but you recognized that you could, if you dug, you were digging to China. Did you see what's going on over there in Hong Kong? Holy
Crazy.
cow!
No, what's going on?
They got 1 million man protest going on there because ever since we gave the place back to China, China's been trying to take over the rule, and now they want to do the court prosecutions over in
Extradition,
China.
right?
Yeah. So if you do anything, you're extradited to China and tried in court there. Yeah, that'll be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off with his head.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah, if you watch Deep Space Nine, that's almost like Cardassian justice. All right, I'm the only Trekkie here. Okay.
We've got one of the broadcast channels here, H&I.
Yeah, that's what I have.
And I get it right over the antenna, right?
Yeah.
Broadcast. And every night during the week, Star Trek. They start at 8 o'clock. They got the original Star Trek, and 9
That
o'clock
one I like.
they got the one with Patrick Stewart, and then then they got Deep Space Nine, and then they got I never get to the last one, but every once in a while, if there's something else to do, I'll throw that on, and I love watching those old.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Voyager, and then Enterprise.
Yeah.
I like more the Lost in Space.
Danger.
You tarnished
Will
trumpet.
Robinson.
You used to insult the robot. Yeah.
I love one thing I love about the original Star Trek is like Captain Kirk would always get the hots with some alien chick, you know.
Oh, that green alien.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be making out in their, intergalactical sex. and it's like, you know, kind of weird when you think about it.
It
That
is.
explains some of the
It would
conditions.
be like
now.
Joan Collins painted green or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a lot of sexual overtones in that series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you
Gene
kidding me? I was
Roddenberry.
waiting for her to sneeze enough to see her panties or something when I was a kid. Never
Spike,
happened. They must have taped them to their thighs or something. I don't know.
Spike, you back? You back inside your studio?
Yeah, man. Yep.
All right. Tell me, do I look less pale now?
I'm just trying. I'll just have a look there because I'm trying to get my Wi-Fi getting on my computer again. This is all the
okay.
whole thing. But no, mate. Yeah, you look really good. The
Look
camera skin tones that you got now, man.
Did you see? Did you see the sunburn? Did I show you the?
I did. I saw the over contrast.
Okay.
I tend to do that a little bit in my videos, actually. Yeah. You know how on the internet you can see like the top 5 mistakes a beginner filmmaker makes, or editing, or how can you tell an amateur filmmaker? Well, that's always that's what I watch and I think shit. I've done that. I've done too many transitions. I've done too much over contrast. All the different things that they said that people do, I've done. So you learn by these things, don't you? You know, you learn by.
Couldn't be worse than the what was the name of that show that had Starbucks on their coffee Starbucks on their show, and it's supposed to take place in
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
they had a Starbucks coffee. It can't be worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then every now and then you see shows and you see the mic right on top of the
or see a cell phone
down.
sticking out of one of their pockets.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Happens to the best.
I think there's been a few bonanzas where Hoff still had his Rolex watch on.
I like that show too. And Columbo, I like. You guys watch Columbo at all?
I watched Columbo
Columbo.
today, believe it or not. I
What is
watched
it on something TV? QTV.
Peter Falk.
Yeah,
Peter
I like
Falk. Yeah, I watched.
Last Eye.
One more thing. And by the way, you're under arrest.
Hey, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
And then Beretta, I used to like that show.
Oh yeah, Beretta was rocking.
Robert Blake was cool.
I like the bald guy, Telly Savalas, Kojak.
Who loves you, baby?
I like those kind of shows.
Those cop shows from the 70s were awesome.
Yeah.
And then I like, of course, Law and Orders.
Well, there's no shortage of them, man. They go on Ion TV. They go from morning to night, 24/7. Those things.
Yeah, but you know what? Those shows were better than today's shows.
They are. I tend to watch them, and you don't remember. You saw some of these things 15 years ago, so you don't remember what they were.
All right,
You know what?
everybody.
You got to be careful when you say that. Columbo. When you say those shows, they're not like the old days. You know what? That's what old people say.
Yeah, but screw them. I turn on the TV today. I got to watch lesbians and queers and all of every show.
I know. HBO.
You know who's pushing that are the commercials. I see more interracial marriages than I do in real life. I see more guys cooking dinner together, more girls cooking dinner. And it's like it's not even real life.
I looked
Anyway,
it up.
I'll
I
shut
looked it up. There's 327.5 million people in the United States.
0.001% is gay.
No, actually,
If that
it's 4% of men.
That's a lie. It's not even that high.
But
out of
why
100
is it
people,
on
there's
every
4
TV
gay
show?
people.
It's on
I
every
don't even
TV
believe
show.
Hey, listen, guys, we keep talking like this. YouTube will demonetize me.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, they're
They're
crazy.
half of them at YouTube.
They're crazy about it. They are on such a political correctness kick that
The whole world is.
that they're going to end up doing away with themselves.
Does anybody
No,
remember
it's
back-
destroying us. The Roman Empire wasn't destroyed by any army. It was they killed themselves.
Right.
It's from inside out.
Get us from within.
Yep.
I
Does
just
anybody
say
remember
live
back
and
in
live.
the day when Bill Cosby was America's dad?
Oh,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jello
You know, he
pudding.
bought the rights to the Little Rascals. We can't see him anymore. Because
That's
they
true.
thought it was
He did.
racist.
Spanky. He took it off the air.
All that. Killjoy.
Those were the days. Hey, Jim
And do you
Crittenden.
know the first couple that slept in bed together were the Flintstones?
Jim Crittenden asked me, how's the new build going? It's done, Jim. There it is, sitting on my build table, ready to fly. And I hope I'm going to fly it tomorrow.
Good job.
That's the Armative. Yeah.
Is that an XT60 or an XT30?
That's a 60.
That's a big boy, huh?
Yeah, that's a 5-inch. Yeah, that's a 5-inch.
Well,
It's
look
got
at
the
the tiny one
GPS,
outside.
little GPS deal on top.
Hey,
Is this your first 5-inch?
No, I've got a Tyro 99 and an Emax Hawk 5.
Okay.
Hey, Mitch, I almost picked up one similar to that on propertyroom.com. And the only thing that was wrong with it, one of the propellers was busted.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's
Easy to replace.
All it was just the drone itself. No controller, but it did have a battery with it. But almost got it. It went for $57.
Yeah, but when you buy something like that, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what kind of flight controller it's got, what kind of motors it's got. You can buy a Tyro 99, which is all brand new for $100, a 5-inch quad, and build it. Or
there you go, Mitch. There is a really good picture.
Yeah,
one of the best on the internet at the moment. Look at that. You got Mr. Crinnan.
Yeah,
and we got the man Mel.
And where is that taken?
Hey, I don't know where it's us.
Oh, that was at Jim's house last weekend, I think.
Oh,
out in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they have the Rodney Bell Cup.
Yeah. Got the Mavic Pro Rodney Bell Cup, Ready Set Drone T-shirt. Hey,
man.
Got the lot. He's even got the you got the latest camera there, that DJI Go.
Oh yeah,
Osmo Action.
Action. Hey, right into it, these two, eh?
I'll tell you.
Anybody thinking about getting that robot, that car, that RC?
No. I haven't heard of anybody over the age of like 12 that really wants to have that thing.
Why would you have to spend $500 on an RC car?
Because they can. My theory is whatever they charge you for the DJI Care Refresh is what it costs them to make a drone. The rest is profit.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
That's
Steve Carpenter. Steve
About that
Carpenter's
car.
in the house. Hello, Steve.
One question about the remote control car I have. It looks pretty cool and all that stuff. But once a kid gets it, unless there's a club in his school or all his friends have one, what the heck is he going to do with it?
You can't have just one.
Right. You got to shoot the cat.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Imagine if you bought your kid one of those things, you'd be picking those little gooey jello
the gel beads
projectiles. You'd be picking them out from every corner of your house,
and you have to keep buying them.
Yeah,
I have the Parrot Mambo with the Canon. I used to shoot my son's friends when they came over.
Really?
that has the Nerf things though, right?
No, they're little plastic BBs. I mean, they won't hurt you unless it goes into your eye.
You know what?
You'll put your eye out.
Yeah, you put your eye out with that thing.
You fall down and break your neck.
Get the bug assault.
Thing is, I like a lot of the DJI stuff, but I just don't want to jump every time DJI says jump. You know what I mean? Seems like-
My theory is if everybody just stopped buying for 6 months, those prices would just go.
Yeah, they listen. I was guilty when the Mavic 2 Pro came out. I was guilty. I was sitting there watching the live launch event on YouTube and putting my order in on my cell phone.
But that was a legitimate upgrade.
Right, that the 2 was. But every time they come out with something that I buy, within 6 months there's a 2.
Right.
Well, that's the technology is that's just standard in technology. Nothing over 6 months old is current in anything. Cell phones.
Mitch, I waited 2 years before I got the Matrice. As soon as I bought it, they came out with a version 2.
Really? Well, you're like Rodney Dangerfield. You don't get any. You get no respect at all.
None.
Both.
It's like a joke.
Yeah, Dangerfield used to call me for material.
If you got 2 kids, you get one kid the DJI thing when it shoots the little pellets.
Right.
You get the other kid a Roomba to go pick up the stuff.
There you go.
That's an idea. It's a good idea.
No, but that's like the first thing I thought of. After your kid plays with it for 10 minutes, he's like, okay, now what? First of all, it's 2 to 4 hours to put together 46 parts. Right. You got to have an adult doing that with him.
Yeah.
And then next, he's done with it in 10 minutes, unless there's a friend playing with one.
Right.
Have you seen how many videos have you, other than the videos of the people that DJI sent the reviewers that got them a month early?
Right.
How many people have actually got one of those yet and put a video up on YouTube?
I saw Flight Path and Adam Savage. That's who
Actually
I saw.
bought them?
No, they were sent to them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it's
a 25-day back order.
Oh, so they're not shipping them yet?
No.
Oh,
and
okay.
they have no controllers right now. So what you're
What's the point?
viewing, right? You can use Scratch and Python to program them.
But they don't have the controllers?
No, they don't have controllers right now. That's
useless.
a Playmore kit item. You're gonna have to
It's
pay
buying
more
a
to
car
get it.
without a steering wheel.
Playmore. Yeah.
They're calling it a Playmore kit.
I know. Sounds like a Claymore mine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
But somebody will buy it.
Mrs. Scully, hello.
Mitch, I did a little
Doubtfire.
I did a little 30-minute talk on that when it first came out, and I'm saying just what I said right now. The Tello is $79 to $99. You can fly it, you can program it with Scratch or Python, the same as you can with this. So why would you buy this RoboMaster for $500?
Wow.
And
It's
my
new.
Tello's
That's the
hanging
only
on
reason.
my Tello's hanging on the wall. I haven't touched it in months because you
My
can't.
Mavic Air I haven't touched.
Since I started flying FPVs, the Tello is not like an FPV drone.
No,
you can't, even if you try to fly it by looking at the screen, the latency is way
Slow
too
motion.
slow. Yeah,
The Parrot Mambo works better as far as the camera, if you ask me.
but the FPV cameras are all analog with almost no latency, and that's what you need when you're flying those things. And the controller, they're not Wi-Fi or digital. They're well, they are digital,
Bluetooth.
but they're very low latency. The controllers for the FPVs.
Oh, for FPV, yeah. I like my Parrot.
Back from the sky. What's your first name?
Carlos.
Carlos. Okay, I've seen you before. I just didn't know your name. So
Call me anything
Watch
but
out
late
for
for
him,
dinner,
watch
as my
out for
dad
him,
used to
Mikey.
say.
He's a dangerous man.
And that one-eyed Scully now.
Peter, you talk
put
too
those
much, man.
chopsticks
You got to
back in
stop
your G-string, mate.
monopolizing the live stream, Peter.
Sorry about that.
right.
Sorry to be so noisy. Yep.
Hey,
Just want to make
Peter,
sure you're still.
camera you
still
got
among,
behind
with us. You didn't sit there, fall asleep, maybe.
Still here.
what is that SLR behind you on the tripod?
That's that was a present I bought myself when I retired back in 2006 with the Canon 1D N Mark II. Cost a heap of dollars, and
Wow, it's a big full frame camera.
no, it's not full frame.
No.
It's an ASPC,
Okay, APS-C.
a huge
Upside
8
down
megapixel,
Scully.
I think.
My granddaughter would only play with the Tello. She was afraid of the Mavic or the Phantom. I don't know why. She'll feel guilty if she breaks it. You know what I mean? She's 10, almost 11, but she didn't want to. I mean, I bought them for her to fly. That was the whole idea
You
behind it.
bought her a Mavic to fly at 10 years old?
Yeah, man. I'm teaching her
You're good.
programming.
You're good, man.
She's homeschooled.
My son was homeschooled till high school.
I don't play. This kid's going to know technology.
No,
There
my
you
son
go.
went to
Good
high
job.
school and finished all 4 years with a 91 plus average.
She's going to have a better life and all that crap than I had.
Yeah.
Your life's not so bad.
No,
You got-
but I had to work for a
Matrice,
living.
man. How bad can life be when you own a Matrice?
Mitch, I worked for a living, man. I've had four back fusions, 2 knee replacements. I earned it.
What did you do? What kind of work?
Paramedic for 28 years.
Oh, wow. So you see
I didn't sit in the fire department.
You've seen a lot of gory stuff occasionally, I'm sure.
Yeah, the human body is very fallible. People don't understand that until they get stabbed or shot. You know, these kids playing with knives and all that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
And then
very
that's the
tough
greatest,
job.
the
That's not
greatest
an easy
gift on
job,
earth
man.
is life itself, isn't it, eh?
Well, I say pinch yourself. If that hurts, put the damn gun down. Don't play with the knife.
Yeah.
That would require that people actually have some intelligence and common sense.
Exactly, Mitch.
Listen, the big
Not to
question
sound
is-
gory, but I remember a guy that he picked up a head after a car accident. Somebody just got decapitated, being an EMT.
Well, think about it. It's not bolted on in any way, shape,
No,
or
I
form.
understand, but I just can't see myself picking up me personally. I don't like picking up dead animals. I can't.
They
imagine
say it's
picking
like
up
a bowling
head.
ball. It feels like picking up a bowling ball.
I don't know.
Hey,
That's like
listen,
movie
a
stuff.
question to you all. A question to you all. Listen
Yes,
to
sir.
this. The question is, what do you think about the different sort of computer games that shoot, blow up things? And all that? Do you believe that that may
Roll up.
be a part of
No.
desensitizing
No,
young ones today?
not at all. Because the
No?
parent has to be there telling the kid, this is what real life is, this is a game. You have to explain that. If you don't have a parent or someone telling them the difference between reality. Because my wife was upset when I bought my youngest a video game at 3 and 4 years old. Now he could care less about playing video games.
I don't know how it is in every state, but in New York State, when you went hunting, you had to take a week's course, safety course, and all that. And this was after I was out of the Marines. But you still had to take a hunting safety course before you could get the certificate to pay them to go get a deer. But I think that's something that should be standard. If you're allowed to buy a gun, you should have to go through a safety course.
Well, was it you that was saying, somebody was saying recently where they make it so hard to fly, but yet it's pretty easy to get a gun or a rifle. You know, they're making all these tests. You got to take a test. You got to take a test to get a driver's license. But you don't really need a test.
No, you've always been allowed to buy a shotgun in America at any age. I don't know, what is it, 18?
Not anymore in New York. I bought my son at 10 or 11 years old a 22 rifle. And the reason behind it was if he goes to somebody else's house and they bring out a rifle, he knows what to expect, what's going on. So it was more of, but my ex-wife was like, why are you buying them? It's a teaching.
There used to be a shooting range at Robert Moses school. And my father, when I was 12 years old.
You lived in New York, huh?
Yeah, at Long Island for 34 years. Kings Park, town of Smithtown.
Okay.
North
That
Shore.
111?
Yeah, that's Hop Hog. Yeah, that's right by there. Same area, same difference, as we used to say.
Correct.
But the point being that, I was 12 and I was getting used to, it was 50 cents to buy the 22 rounds in those days.
Right.
And you learn respect, man. You learn how to shoot and you learn respect.
I still have the 22 my dad got me at Kmart back
kidding.
when I was 13. It was a bolt action, with an 8-round clip.
Yep.
And it was, you learn. We know what we were doing. We made sure whether there was a bullet in the chamber or not. We knew we weren't that dumb.
Yep.
And
so
we
why
learned
are they so dumb today?
Because nobody's teaching them. Because
Yeah.
This is my theory. You have women that are raising kids by themselves, and you have women teaching them all day in school. And they're for lack of a better word, they're wimpifying. I use the word pussifying our children.
Yes.
And then you have these women that say, "Oh, it's okay for your son to have a doll. It's going to teach him how to be a daddy." Bullshit stuff.
No, you're
I
right.
don't agree with that theory.
You're 100% right.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Paul Murray?
I don't care whoever it is.
Any of the young ones' issues is about poor parenting.
Yes.
Yep.
They're raised by daycare and they're raised by the God blessed babysitter.
And people aren't willing to sacrifice and downsize to keep one parent home. And then on top of that, like in New York, you have to have basically two
You
salaries
gotta have two
to
working.
survive.
But Al, if we all forced the wife to stay home and we all couldn't buy gas and we all couldn't buy that car, wouldn't they bring the prices down?
I think so.
We made it through the
Although
50s
I
and
wonder.
60s just fine.
I wonder, and this is the reason I say this, autonomous like assembly lines, and they don't need people to do jobs. So eventually there's going to be so many unemployed people. Who's going to buy the product that these machines are making? I don't understand the
What you're
logic.
saying there, though, listen to this. I reckon it's a part, like you're saying, that technology is taking the jobs. There are different jobs now that have been created that weren't in existence a while back.
True, but that's
I
programming.
don't
How
think
many
it makes
programming
but I
jobs
don't
can
think
you
it
have?
makes up for the lost jobs. Personally, it's like
No,
you don't
I
even
agree.
need farmers anymore.
Numbers wise, I agree with you, Carlos. Numbers wise, yes.
Well, behind every
You
machine,
have GPS machines in
Mitch,
farms now.
Mitch, you ran a company. A CNN machine can be a CNN machine, computerized numeric machine over you.
You cut out on that last
No, I'm saying CNN machines, computer numerical. Yeah.
CNC machines.
Well, CNNs do the inspecting, but they
Oh,
still have to be. They still have to be programmed by you.
You know what? Things change, and you know, the guys that used to make slide rules back in the day, they're out of a job now, so they learned how to do something else. And the fact is, right now in this country, according to the statistics, there's more jobs to be filled right now than unemployed people. So if that's true, then we're doing okay. You know,
I don't believe that.
There's a shortage of construction guys, plumbers, electricians, your basic trades will
I'll
always
tell you
be
what,
needed.
there's so many people. There's so many unfilled jobs right down here near where I live. One of my retired buddies got bored, and he went out. It took him 10 minutes to find a job. I mean, it's crazy. So I guess, you know, and I don't want to get into the politics of it because, you know, look, I'm a conservative. I'm sure so a lot of guys are.
I am too, man.
Sounds like there's a bunch of us in here.
Yeah. But there's always liberals, and I just can't. I don't have the patience to argue anymore about it.
But that's
you're
the
never
problem.
Gonna change. You're never going to change.
We let it go too far. We were too quiet.
Yes.
The silent majority, and now that's why. I mean, if I think something's wrong, if I don't agree with the homosexual agenda, I have the problem.
Yes, you're wrong.
Why can I not just have my opinion? I've been dying to have a straight day parade forever.
And that's the funny thing is they decided to have a straight pride
In Boston.
day, and they got hell for it. You know, I've always said, and I'm probably I'm Jewish. Okay, I'm a white Jewish man. I'm the single most hated human being on the planet.
Not true.
More people hate
no.
me.
You know how many Christians are out there? You know how many Christians are out there that support Israel like crazy?
Yeah, I understand
don't agree
that.
or
I understand.
disagree.
I'm using this as an example because I'm not crying about it because I
I'm
don't
a white
care.
Catholic Irishman, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
How
but what
low
I'm
can you
saying
get?
is, the Ku Klux Klan hated the blacks and the Jews. They didn't hate the Christians. I mean, I'm at the top. They've been hating me for 5,000 years.
Yeah, but the Klan was just a bunch of idiots.
Hitler killed my entire extended family in Europe. And when I hear these snowflakes whining about crap, it drives me crazy. And in order to not be crazy at my age,
nothing,
and not get my blood pressure up,
Hello.
I try to fluff it off. But I tell you what, I turn on the news in the morning, and it isn't 10 minutes before I'm not screaming at the TV set because it's so absurd what's going
They're
on.
giving illegal aliens in New York driver's license.
It's crazy. Well, of course they want to. It's a path to register them to vote. Everybody.
No, I heard they can't vote. But here's the thing: imagine
They
if
will
I'm
be.
illegally parked. If I'm illegally parked and I tell the judge, "Well, illegal aliens, illegal doesn't mean anything there. Why does it mean something when I'm illegally parked?"
There is no logic in dealing with these mentalities. Their
What is
logic
it called?
out the
Progressive.
window. It's gone.
Progressive.
They voted a Muslim in California, for Christ's sakes.
Not only how about Detroit?
Guys, if I could have a few minutes.
No, Art, no.
No.
Go ahead.
You got to shout louder than the next
All
guy.
right, we got you, Art. You're locked on.
My other show, Art's Place, where I talk about all of this stuff with Lloyd Mendenhall, the grumpy vlogger. So
Okay, we got to keep that in mind.
Sunday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So come and join me over there on Sundays, and
And
we're
yeah,
going to talk about all of the
And it's
Hey,
not
now-
Artco, it's a different name.
Art's
What's-
Place.
now, if you guys aren't watching Dan Bongino's show every day, you're missing out.
Never heard of them.
Well, I got split, so Mitch.
Yeah, we're almost going to wrap it up here, Art, because it's coming up on 8
having
o'clock.
me on. I will catch you next time.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
Remember to jump in Art's Place.
Art's Place.
Day.
Only if you let me come on and yell at you.
Well, all right. We'll work on that. All right. See you
All
guys
right,
later.
Take care, Art.
Bye.
Take care.
See you later, Art. Mitch,
Yeah.
I'm going to take off and get a cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, okay, Spike.
Okay, I'm gonna sign out.
All right.
We're gonna
Take care,
talk.
Gary. I hope you don't mind us Americans shooting our mouth off.
Up there in Canada, and the same thing in England. You know, I've had some people visit here from England, and you know, we got guns laying all over the place, and they just can't get over. They don't understand how could that be? How can you have guns just laying all over the place?
Yeah, I don't know. In Canada, we just don't get it. We don't get it.
Nothing
You
more
don't know.
American.
Chris
Learn how
Rock
to
made a
shoot.
point. Chris Rock made a point once. Don't ban the guns. Just make bullets really expensive. So you're gonna think 2 or 3 times
Well,
before
don't
you
think
actually
they haven't-
shoot it.
Don't think they haven't thought about not gun control, but
They've actually done that with the price of brass, and it was hard for people to find cartridges for a long time.
oh, no
You
doubt.
make a bullet $100 or $200 a round. People are gonna think 2 or 3 times before
Right.
they shoot.
Reloading is easy though.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
you're making your own with the
Yeah.
machine.
But the downside to that is if you're an advocate for gun safety and you want people practicing, and in order to practice, they have to expend ammunition at the range. So
Rubber bullets? I don't know.
no, the cheaper, but if ammunition is cheaper, people would be more by logic more proficient at it because they be
Well,
cheaper
that was
to
the
go to
beauty
range
of
and
us
practice.
being kids, though. When we were kids, most of us, it sounds like, we all had 22s.
Yes.
You know, the bullets were wicked cheap. You could go out and fire 100 rounds, and it cost you like $4. And you know, you had a good day with your dad, and that was my experience anyway.
You learned and you got some pride out of it when you
Yeah.
learned how to
When you
hit
did a
correct-
good
shoot
job,
correct.
right? When you shot well, yeah.
I never had guns in Philadelphia. Growing up in the city, we never had a BB. We had a BB gun, hence the "you'll put your eye out with that thing" warning that I got every day. But it wasn't. Then I went into the service, and my first real exposure to real firearms was in the Army, shooting 308s, you know, M14s and 40 and 45s, 1911s.
1911?
The 45
Born then.
45 kicks back like a mule. Kicks
Oh,
like
that-
a mule.
My favorite gun right now, I've got a SIG
AR?
P220, which is a 45, and it's a tremendous gun.
I remember the first time I shot the 45 in the Marines. I was not ready for it, Mitch, and it went boom straight
Yeah,
back up.
It's got a nice little kick, but they don't have that high a muzzle velocity. I have a Dirty Harry revolver.
357?
Yeah,
people-
I like those.
Most people don't understand shooting anyway.
44 Magnum.
They think the bullet comes out.
Shoot it. But here's a Canadian perspective on this shooting stuff. In America,
Yeah.
we all respect the police and the military who put themselves in the line of fire.
Right.
1975, more children were killed in America by guns than all military and police worldwide by a factor of 2.
And what do
And
you
you-
what
and
do
your
you
point-
attribute that to?
Yeah. What's the point?
Too many guns in America.
Listen, America, you know, Gary, you'll never.
I'll never understand
Well, but you can't.
that you allow children to be killed by guns.
You can't.
Nobody wants that, man.
Nobody
Nobody
wants that.
allows that.
But I think that, and I'm not going to argue with you, but I don't particularly have never heard of. Very rarely do you ever hear about a child. Very, very, very rarely. You hear about more children slipping in the bathtub and breaking open their heads than you do.
We see a lot of
falling out of a window.
mass shootings.
And you have to be very careful also, Gary. You have to be very careful about the agenda of the media you're listening to, because they're going to feed you the stories to make their point, and you're not going to. And I don't trust either side on the media, whether it's right, left, or center. I just part of being an American, part of America and the Wild West, and has been the right to and part of our Constitution gives us that right. And owning a gun, Gary, for Americans isn't so much. It isn't about the gun. See, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's about the freedom to own the gun.
You know what it is? If you have a populace with no guns, the government controls it.
That's how they got all my relatives in.
That's what the Second Amendment says. The Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms in an organized militia.
No, it doesn't say
No,
that.
no,
it
not
doesn't.
in
No,
a-
no,
no.
It doesn't
The
say
whole
that.
point of
This
allowing
is the rabbit
firearms
hole, man.
Yeah,
so that
we're
we
not
could
gonna, I'll
not
tell you
be
what, guys.
taken over by government.
Let's not argue about this because
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think we're arguing. We're
well,
just
but
sharing views.
let's not.
How about those Mets today? Huh?
Yeah, how about those Mets? Let's not talk about this because
Hitler would have never got away with what he did if all the Jews had weapons.
Yeah,
10 minutes ago.
the first thing the Germans did was outlaw guns for Jews. So that
Makes sense.
The story
defend
goes,
yourself.
the story goes that there was no gun control in Germany, but the real truth of the matter from history is that there wasn't any gun control. It was only illegal for Jews to own guns. So they disarmed all the Jews, and then they came and they killed 6 million of them, including all my relatives. And that's one of the reasons why I own guns today. Not because I'm worried about a guy coming to rob my house. I'm worried about the government coming.
Bingo.
And that's why and the fact that if I have a freedom to own a gun, like I used to have the freedom to fly my drone where I wanted to, and now I don't. I used to have the freedom to import cigars into this country, and now I don't, because the government keeps taking my freedoms away, one little one after another. And
It's the little ones
The other
that
side
add
of
up.
that is
and
we're
the right
letting
to
them take
own
it
that
away.
gun is not about the gun. It's about another freedom
General
that somebody
principle.
wants to take away from me. And I'm not, and it's not going to solve any problems because the law-abiding citizens are not the ones that are using the guns to kill people. And
they
the
outweigh the
criminals
bad
are.
guys.
And the definition of a criminal is they don't obey the law anyway. So if you make a law against guns, then all the honest people will turn in their guns, and then only the criminals and the government will have the gun. And that's the logic of it as I see it. Now, there are people that disagree with me. So I have guns, and I also buy guns as an investment. I've made a lot of money on guns buying and selling because they go up in value like crazy.
One thing I will say, I'll agree with you, Gary, probably, is that if we're going to have the right to own guns here in the U.S., which we do, and I have my old 22, but I have limited finger use. I would love to have a pistol collection, but I don't because I can't safely operate a pistol. So along with that right that we have comes a responsibility.
Of course, as any right to drive a car, you have a responsibility.
Right.
Certainly more children get killed in car accidents every year than get shot with handguns.
Mitch, you
Certainly.
actually know that it's not a right. We don't have well, at least in New York, it's not a right. It's a privilege.
Well, that's
to drive.
because your legislatures have taken your freedom away
I'm
from
just
you.
saying that's what I was taught in my 6-hour class. I'm saying, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to live in Australia, Mitch?
Do
Might
I?
be worse.
No, I imagine it's even worse there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I have pistols and I have rifles as well. I have a C-class 308 Remington 7600 pump action, which is a very high-powered gun for Australia. Anyway, it's not the biggest; it's always bigger. But yes, what I've had to go through to jump through hoops, you cannot have no criminal history, nothing at all. And all that sort of business just to have guns, especially handguns, concealable guns. To buy one, you have to wait you have to ask for permission. Then you've got to be a part of an organization, a club. Then
Yeah.
you've got to wait 3 months, 12 weeks before approval. And then once you've got approval, then you can purchase the gun and take it home.
Well, England is just as bad,
but when you say just as bad, I don't know. I think it might be a good thing.
Well,
statistically around the world, the numbers of people who are shot, basically.
Whose
Think about that.
whose statistics? That's what you got to wonder about.
Yeah, that's true, Carlos. Whose statistics? That's true. I guess if it's somebody from the hospitals or the morgue,
You remember the Enron situation where they were reporting, I'm making this much money, or Madoff, he was pretending to have good deals.
Yeah.
It's you can cheat and lie, and numbers can be manipulated.
They usually what my favorite use of statistics or misuse of statistics involved guns. Back 20 years ago when they put through the famous assault weapon ban. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was just another example of the government spending millions of dollars and creating a lot of furor over a non-problem. Because in the years prior to the assault weapon ban, the statistics, the real numbers were that a handful, 5, 6, 7 people maybe were actually killed with these assault style weapons. There was very few murders or killers. The crooks they use Saturday night specials. They didn't use AR-15s to go rob a grocery store, So they went through all of this stuff, and this was during the Clinton years, and they passed the assault weapon ban. And basically all it outlawed were military-looking, ugly rifles. But, your solid gold-plated engraved rifle was just as deadly, but it wasn't outlawed. And they outlawed all these things. And they had 6 before the law took effect. They had 6 deaths attributed to these guns. And the year after the law, I think the first year after the law, I think they had 4 deaths. And then I think the third year after the law, they might have had 7 deaths. At any rate, the number of deaths attributed to these ugly guns was statistical noise. It was nothing. But I'll never forget the day that Bill Clinton stood up in front of God and the American people, and he said,
I did not have sex with that woman. No,
after that. This is what he said. And this shows you how stupid statistics are. He said, the assault weapon ban is a raging success. We have reduced the murder rate with these weapons by 40%.
Sure.
They went from 6 murders to 4 murders. That was the resounding, but the way they put it from we reduced it by 40%, made it sound like they really accomplished something. And then the next year it went to 7. And then, of course, nobody ever heard about the fact that it went up 30% the following year because it was a useless law. But it's political.
Well, look, the NYPD, there's 35,000, including the brownies or the parking attendants. And I only think 2 or 3% of them actually shoot throughout
Have
their
ever
whole career.
shot. Yeah.
Well,
So,
most police never shoot their gun. I've never
That's
shot
what
a
I'm
gun at
saying.
anybody.
That's what I mean. But then you hear people saying, "Oh, police are killing such and such people."
Well,
and
that's
this and that.
that's their agenda. Everybody's got an agenda, and
But what I'm getting at is statistics are BS at the end of the day.
they usually are.
And it's like it's like all the polls that, and I'm
Oh,
not
the polls, yeah.
whatever the polls that said Trump would lose, and
Yeah, Joe Biden is going to beat Trump by 20 points. Yeah.
that's to try to ingrain people. Oh well, if that's the case, let me not waste my time and vote.
Did you hear today? Did you hear that ABC has turned on Joe Biden? Did you hear that?
And did they say why?
I don't know why, but ABC News, which is liberal, did a bad story about Biden's kid and the Ukraine and Russia. So somebody up high somewhere decided that Biden doesn't have what it takes, and they're gonna move him out. Watch.
Well, he looks half dead already. He's kind of old.
Yeah, he's not pulling. He's not creating any excitement. But
Congress is half dead.
Oh, they're crazy. They're crazy. They're the most important thing we got to deal with in this country right now, and taking up all the time in our Congress, is reparations for slavery.
That's crazy.
That's the big thing, and we don't need to talk about healthcare or the border problems or any of that or any other stuff. We need to talk about reparations. That's where
Are you talking about the enslavement of the Irish people back?
Don't get me started.
No,
Don't
I've
get
been
me
waiting. I've
started,
been
Mike.
waiting for reparations from the Egyptians enslaved my people 5,000 years ago.
No. What you did to my people, okay? We were picking up rocks to eat off of. We were separated. Our children were kept in the attics. Men were in one barracks. The women were in the other. Don't even get me started on the Irish.
Every race has had some kind of
exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
But our silly, I mean, it is absolutely disgusting. And I come on to do these live streams to try to be happy and talk about fun stuff and drones.
This is
because
happy. It's real life.
It keeps me from having
Exploding.
to start to
Every now and then you got to talk a little reality.
Yeah,
Of course.
I guess.
Well, look, people die they die and they serve in the war, and to have safe places in college where you can't even speech.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I mean, what freedom?
There are 20 military suicides a year, veteran suicides a year. Why? With the 50,000 homeless, they estimate. Who can really count?
Veterans, right?
Yeah, the veterans.
Yeah.
387,000 are still waiting for health care. Come on, man.
Support your troops, though, and God forbid you say you don't support the war. You're anti-American.
Yeah, Steve Carpenter's saying quite a bit on the chat here, and I agree, Steve.
Yeah, but you can't have forced mental health care in America. As a paramedic, I can tell you, in order to get somebody evaluated, they have to be a danger to themselves or others, and you have to be able to prove.
Of course you can. It's like trying to Baker Act somebody. It's not an easy thing to do.
A Baker Act is a 72-hour forced examination, and that requires the fact that you are a danger to yourself or others, and I have to prove it.
Yeah. Well, there's a fine line between what you want the law to be and what you don't want the law to be.
What bugs me is that you vote people in and they don't necessarily, represent the will of the people. And they just proved that with this, what was it? Homo did something recently. I forget what it was. Brain fart, but I'll come back.
Why is it always New York and California who's destroying the nation?
because they're
liberal.
They're liberals, and here's the problem: is they don't like they ruined New York.
Yes.
And so what do? They all decide to come down here to Florida, and they move down to Dade County, Broward County, and they're ruining Florida. So where are they going to go after they ruin Florida? After they've turned New York into a high tax.
Texas, maybe Texas.
Well, then they're already ruining Texas. Texas is also got its problems.
I'll tell you what, come
what
to Florida and try and find an orange grove. Serious as hell.
Really?
Serious as hell. My oranges in my shopping center are from California. Winn-Dixie.
I remember driving.
We are building so much down here. It's incredible the amount of building we're doing.
You guys have more people in your state than New York, right?
Yeah.
It is crazy down here, but
we can fill a swampland faster than anybody.
Every election we have, it's like way back to the hanging chads of 2000. It's they just keep moving down here. These liberals keep moving down here from New York, and then and then they want to turn our state into another New York.
That's I can now urinate in public and not worry about getting a fine.
Can you? Cool.
Isn't that great? Or if the neighbor
I'm glad
across the street is playing loud music, I can call the police, but they don't have to come. They won't respond. They don't have to.
Carlos, in one respect, I'm glad I'm not a young man now, because I think that we might have lived in my generation might have lived at probably the best single time for the human race that ever was.
Yeah.
I like my 80s. I'm going to be 57 in a little while. So.
Growing up in the 60s, 70s was good.
I'm the same age.
57?
The 80s was a blast. I guess it all depends on when you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s.
82.
It was terrific.
Yeah. See, I was born in 1947.
Did they have cars back then? Just kidding.
They had indoor plumbing and everything. It was amazing. Yeah. But I'll tell you, when I was born, there was no television.
Not to the same degree, right? You listen to The Shadow?
To no degree. The television
Oh, really?
wasn't invented until 1940. It wasn't until the early 50s that people started even having these little black and white TVs with the little round screens.
Yeah, we didn't
You
have
the Ralph Cramden kind of refrigerator? The ice,
We
ice
had,
cube
yeah, we
inside?
did. We had that with the thing on top. Oh yeah,
called an icebox.
Icebox when I was
Literally.
a kid.
Yeah.
When I was, we walked to school 5
We had-
miles uphill both ways, barefoot in
Barefoot.
the
In the
snow.
snow. In the snow.
Living in Florida, even.
We had
I grew up in Philly. I grew up in Philadelphia.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I love having the milkman. The milkman used to always put a note in there around the holidays, like do you want chocolates added to that? And we used to take that thing and fill it out on my mother. The poor woman never knew what was coming because we had a milk box that sat outside the
I
front
remember
door.
the milk box and the milk
Sunnydale,
man. Yeah,
Sunnydale,
boy,
Sunnyside.
those days were something.
The
Yeah.
bungalow bar ice cream man, Mr. Softy. Where is that? Where are they now?
We still have Mr.
Mr. Softy?
Yeah,
yeah,
they're still
Yeah, I
around.
remember them.
And Good Humor.
yeah, good humor.
Yeah, they used to come in
Good humor
with
truck.
the truck with the bell ringing. Yeah, the good
right.
humor man. Yeah.
Tell
That was
me
a good.
Good
It was a
humor.
good time, and then of course it was a bad time when we got into the '60s and '70s with Vietnam and all that other stuff.
War makes money.
We had our share of idiots, and then all the protests and the hippies and that generation. That was that was my generation. So
Yeah, how the French ever talked us into that one, I'll never know. 1959, we first sent CIA advisors over to Vietnam, and it was all because of the Michelin rubber trees. Which started, anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
what you doing, Spike? What are you doing?
Well, you guys are all sort of talking about your passions and passionate emotions, and I really respect every single word that every single one of you have said.
Uh-huh.
I thought I'd just keep it a little bit light-hearted over here in Aussie land, and I've sort of unrobed the motorcycle, and I'm basically walking around.
I see that. I'm watching you. Yeah.
Doing a little bit of ice bike promotion, and this is what I have for my lives, as you know, Mitch. And I thought, well, it was all covered up, and
there you go, Spike.
Yeah, cool.
Just wanted to bring it up a bit, and just sort of, I don't know, give the viewers an option to see something a little different. And as I no disrespect to the depth of feelings that all you guys have shared then, but as we all know, and as Mitch, you know too, what we like and what viewers like a lot. No, as I said, we're not the news. We're not the news, and we're a bunch of beautiful, spirited people with our drones.
Spike, I would ride with you on my Electric Glide Classic. I'll ride right next to you, brother.
Hey,
Alrighty, man. I'd love
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, we get into this political stuff, and I can understand why a lot of these channels like Rogers have, because it is passion.
Yeah.
And there's a lot about it that we don't like, and a lot of us we're in the military and fought for our country and fought for these freedoms that they keep trying to take away from us, and it does get you, but there is so much politics. If you want to watch politics, you can watch politics all day long, every day.
Yeah.
There's so much of it. And I mean, all the commentary and the Rush Limbaugh's and Sean Hannity's, and I just try to
Sean
get.
Hannity.
I do too, but I try to.
No, I don't like him. Ugh, it bothers me.
He's okay.
He's a
it's
whiner,
the same
in my
stuff
opinion.
over and over and over again. It's just repeats the same
Hey,
stuff.
listen, do you guys know about the community called #support?
No.
Hashtag support. No, I haven't heard of that.
They push underwear?
Anyone's got a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Anyone's got a motorcycle, then #support is run by Dirty D's, is in Texas.
Okay.
And that community is growing and growing and growing and growing. A lot of motor vloggers, basically. Anyone passionate about motorbikes or the motorbike community. So yeah, as an alternative to drones, and in addition, really, because that's what I'm all about. We're about drones and motorcycles.
Tell you what, the Harley cost a heck lot more than any of the drones did.
Oh hell yeah, man! Oh yeah, yeah. That thing
I got
sitting
half a
behind me
mortgage
there
in
is,
that Harley.
Brand new one of those things that's behind me is 60,000 Australian.
Yeah.
So that's probably 48, 40, nearly 50,000. I guess it's some American.
I
right
got
there.
40 grand into mine.
Yeah, man, and that's a two-wheeler, So yeah, it's easier to do, and that's 40 American. So that'd be shit 60, 70 Australian, you know. So well done to you, you know.
And you know what, Spike? Even Harley is going electric.
Is that
heard
right,
that.
man?
Yes. Yeah, they got an electric bike.
Wow. I think, you know, I reckon it's cool though, but how are you going to get a boom, 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 boom Harley sound out
Guess
of an
what?
electric bike?
Guess what? They pipe it in. They actually,
No.
yes,
Stereo.
they actually make the noise.
They got
Oh
it.
no, man.
I'm not kidding you, man. Check it out. Check it out.
Remember the
Check out
little
Harley
card you put in on your bicycle spokes?
Remember you could put playing cards
with a
clothespin.
Clothespin, right?
Clothespins with playing cards. I remember
That's
those.
right. Yeah.
They're actually
yeah.
piping in the sound of the motorcycle.
And did you see? Do you remember the Harley ad? And they had a picture of a bike, and up above it said "potato, potato, potato, potato."
I don't remember.
And then there's Harley.
No, potato, potato. That's the sound a Harley makes. Potato,
Oh,
potato, potato, potato. And that's what they wrote.
Listen, oh man, why do I want to always? I don't know. It's not the right name.
My name is Jim, Spike.
I want to call you, yeah, but I want to call the other chap Conrad. But anyway, Jim, and it's not Conrad. But anyway, Jim, because I'm looking at the obviously the back facing camera, so I can't see the panel. So I'm just looking at that. Yeah, and I'm looking at the delayed one on the screen of my computer.
Steve or Gary shaking his hand.
Whoever the person was said about the electric bike and they're piping in the thing.
Yes,
Is it
Jim.
possible for you while we're talking now, Jim, to get a link to that and put it in the chat at all, man?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, while we chat it talking away, just put a link in the chat. I'd love to see that.
No problem, mate.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, pretty soon everything's going to be electric.
I think it's not a bad thing, you know.
No, I don't. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever heard the other side of electric is getting rid of the batteries and what it costs to get rid of the batteries and actually
that's like nuclear waste. Yeah,
it's not that much different than the cost overall than gas or petrol.
Well, you got to charge the batteries, and you got to generate the electricity, which creates pollution. So, you know, I was having that conversation with my son at lunch the other day. I said, you know, how much do you really save? We were talking about electric cars.
But do you think about like the future generations? I don't know, 1,000 years from now, with all of those minerals and whatnot that aren't being mined. Or I don't know. Well, I was looking at this thing is about energy. It had a little ball, round silver ball, and that round silver ball, I can't remember the name of the what it was, but it said that it was that 1 ton of that was equal to 4 million tons of coal.
Was that nuclear fuel?
Yes, nuclear something. You know, it's the one that they didn't do.
When they finally can harness nuclear fusion, then they'll be
coal fuel has to do with that. Yes.
Yeah, then they'll be cheap. They'll be cheap because that's the sun. The sun is a fusion reaction. They'll be cheap energy. But you know, technology seems to solve problems without having to legislate them. And an example of that, I remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they decided they wanted to ban incandescent light bulbs. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They wanted to ban incandescent light bulbs and force everybody to buy those curly Q fluorescent things, which nobody wanted because they were full of mercury and all kinds of bad shit. And if you broke one, you know, it was, and they were expensive, and the politicians were going nuts. They're going to ban incandescent light bulbs. Well, they didn't need to make laws because somebody came out and invented LED light bulbs, and all of a sudden you had a light bulb that you could run for 10% of the amount of energy that an incandescent did, and everybody realized, hey, if I fill up my house full of these LED bulbs, I could save a fortune on my electric bill. And they were expensive, so you made the investment. And now LED bulbs are cheap. So who buys incandescent bulbs anymore? Nobody. They've obsoleted themselves without the necessity to make them illegal. And
went along the side of the 8-track.
And when these new methods of propulsion for cars come along that make a car a lot cheaper to operate, then the market itself will dictate the way that the auto industry goes without having to legislate it. So fossil fuels will be a relic, just like incandescent bulbs in the future. Some fool might end up figuring out a quantum way to transport your particles like they do in Star Trek from here to there, and none of us will have to drive anymore.
Or you could take drone cars like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
I can see that bike you're talking about, Jim. That's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, the Harley Live Wire.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
I've got it on the screen now.
I put the link up, mate.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at that.
I've got it on the,
Let's see it again.
I got it on the screen now, guys.
Yeah.
Go the other way.
It makes the sound and everything. The vroom vroom.
That's amazing.
It doesn't look like a Harley, though, does it?
It looks like the Sportster model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not a real Harley.
Or the Rocket. It looks a bit like the Rocket and the engine of the Motor Guzzi by the look of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I did motorcycle for 3 summers in New York, and that was enough.
Do they sell?
Is
sell
that
those?
because of the traffic, Carlos?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? You're on a single lane and you're doing the speed limit, and somebody will pass you on the right where the cars are supposed to be parked.
Oh, it's nuts.
No
We
respect.
on our interstate, the Long Island Expressway.
Oh.
We used to split the lanes. We used to ride right up the middle.
Were you HOV lanes or no? Did you have HOV back then?
No, there was no HOV back then.
Or you just get ugly and wear a jacket like my jacket. I'll turn it around here. Wear a jacket like this, right? And one of them.
Doesn't
Right?
matter.
You
Doesn't
do that,
matter.
and the traffic moves out the way for you.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not in New York.
No, New York, everyone would be on a mission in New York, wouldn't they?
No. And there's so many corners. The best place to ride a motorcycle is on the highway. Then,
Oh
you
no,
know.
man, no, you got that.
Oh
wrong,
yes,
brother.
because what
Come on, man,
happens
you
is,
got to lean around the corners. It's beautiful.
well, you have corners and highways, you know. But what I'm saying is, when you ride in the residential streets, that's just that many more stops and intersections that you have to cross.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And,
Philly,
and
when I
the
was
yellow light doesn't mean slow down; it means go faster, so you can beat the red. It was dangerous. It was scary, and I finally said, you know what? That's enough. I was lucky enough to make it this far. Time to put it away.
Every red light when I was a teenager learning how to drive in Philly was a street race. Every light
Back
was
in
a,
the day,
was
yeah.
a race. It was a race to see who could go faster. Yeah.
the 50s hot rod days. they're
Oh,
brilliant,
man.
brilliant.
That's a
I
nice
remember,
car,
Mitch, I had a Nissan. No, what was that B210? It was a
Mazda. Datsun. Was it Datsun or Mazda B210?
Datsun, I think.
Datsun B210.
God, remember
Funny
Datsun?
how you say
B210.
Datsun,
Oh, it was
Datsun.
it was Datsun B210. Anyway, I got a ticket from a cop for drag racing because I got off the light too quickly in New York. No kidding.
I had a friend that got a ticket for 1 mile over the speed limit in New Jersey. I said, of all people, you have the worst luck.
There you go. Here it
1
is.
mile
Here it
over the
is.
speed limit.
There you go. Listen to it.
Told you. They,
The heartbeat. Oh, wow.
Sounds like an electric bike.
Yeah. That sounds like, what's his name? RoboCop kind of stuff.
yeah.
Nah.
The new
See, the
Harley
only difference
Live
between
Wire.
that road and everywhere else is that road is unoccupied.
Are they selling them?
Yes.
How much?
I don't know. I didn't look at the price.
I haven't seen one on the street yet.
You know what? You know what, guys? How's this? Where I live, out in the bloody sticks, and then 25 kilometers away is another bloody town out in the sticks, but it's what shops and stuff. We actually have an electric, what do you call it? Recharging station. here.
No, really?
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah. 'Cause what it
Great.
is the government's trying to make it so that because we live like 2.5, 3 hours away from the main Perth's capital city, and the government's trying to make it so that strategic spots here, there, and everywhere. It'll take people, of course, to that region. So I guess it's local councils that are on board with it. But
Yeah.
certain places you can, and if you get this 400 kilometer or whatever it is, 300, 350 mile range as on average on a charge, then yeah, what gets me is how long does it take to recharge? So if I went to a place, and that's would be my question. So
Yeah.
if I've got to calculate in my trip going from A to B that if it's 2 charges or something, how long is that? Half an hour, an hour?
And what we know today is that you kill a battery if you're at 70% and you're recharging it.
Discharge.
Yeah, you're not discharging enough for the Lion batteries right now. But you know, Mitch, we've got charging stations right here on Palm Bay Road.
Really? I don't look for them, so I haven't noticed them. I had a hybrid.
I was shocked when I saw it.
I had a hybrid. I had a Prius back in 08, and that was a great little car. You didn't have to plug it in to charge it, but still got, I mean, it had a gas engine and
40, 50 miles a gallon on that.
50. Didn't matter, city, highway, whatever, 50 miles a gallon. And it got up and went too. It had total of about 170 horsepower between electric motors and the gas engine. It
light.
scooted. Yeah, it was a little car, but
did that car have a spare tire?
Yes, I think it did, although I never had to use it. There were tiny little wheels, small wheels, and about 15,000 miles and 20,000 miles tops. You needed to put new tires on it.
Why did you get rid of it?
I had leased it, and
okay.
I bought it initially when I had my restaurant, and I had a wrap put on with the restaurant name and all the pictures of the grouper sandwiches and everything. And then when the lease was up, I removed when I closed the restaurant, I actually had the wrap removed, and then I had back to the paint job, and then the lease was up, and I got rid of it. It was a nice little car, though. Nice little car.
I had a guy here the other day with one of those, and he just loves the heck out of it.
Oh, and the newer ones are nicer, but I've
Ones
never
don't have spare tires.
I hadn't gotten another one though.
I think he told me on a bad day it's 40 miles to the gallon.
Oh yeah, they get because when you're driving in the city with those things, they use braking, motor braking.
Kinetic.
Slow it down, and that actually charges the batteries. So you end up, and when you're slowing down, you actually end up putting back some of the energy you used to speed up. And it had the
that's perfect.
Yeah, and it had the
Steve ran. Steve jumped out.
This is let me see if
My stepdaughter had a Prius. And she had a flat tire, and it took me a half hour to discover there is no spare. It has to be towed.
Really?
Yeah, there's no spare in it. It has just batteries in the back, and that's it.
This is a picture.
Towed.
This was my Prius when it was getting wrapped at the shop when they were putting the graphic wrap on it.
What year was that one, Mitch?
It's an 08.
Okay.
But that was they took, and that was my main only car. So if you can imagine driving around, going on dates and everything in that thing, it was a trip. With the grouper sandwich and the fish on this and the crab cake on the side of it.
And you didn't need commercial place to drive that with the signs up with the
no, you didn't. That not with the
logos and all.
Yeah, that's where they were. It would cost $3,000 for that wrap. That graphics wrap on there.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that was. Well, they're more expensive than that now. It was a 2-day job just to put that thing on. And interestingly enough, when they peeled it off, the paint underneath was like brand new paint.
Yeah.
You could never
It
tell.
might have been cheaper with magnetic signs. Not as
It would have been cheaper, but this, I mean, every square inch of that car was covered, including the back window. It had a see-through thing on the back window. But,
I like that, Mitch. Where was Baldwin Park, though? I'm not familiar with it.
It was over near the old naval base. It was where the naval base was in Orlando.
Okay. All right. That looks good, though.
It was fun, but Baldwin Park was a disaster. I've already been through the story of that, so I won't go there again.
Could have used that over here at the time.
Mitch, how did your dates feel about you picking them up in the car like that? They think you were the delivery guy, or
Well, I was, I was a restaurant owner, so that I had something.
that
going.
helped. That helped.
Yeah. The grouper car. I used to call it the grouper car.
You still look
Real
like a
groupie.
takeout delivery, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a great advertisement, but I mean, I went all over the place in that thing with the grouper.
Why
I
not?
must have been a fixture in Orlando with that thing.
I knew Mitch was coming.
Oh man, Peter, you still with us?
Yep, still here.
All right.
Yep,
Where's Peter located?
Australia.
sunny Australia. Yep,
Where are you in Australia? Melbourne.
yep, Melbourne. Yep.
You're in Melbourne. I'm in Melbourne. We're
Oh,
both in Melbourne.
He's our first Melbourne Australian. Everybody else is
No,
from,
Mars is in Melbourne too.
is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Drone Kings in Darwin is in Darwin, but he's from Brisbane. Ari is from where? Mike, you remember where Ari's from?
Queensland. He's up in
Jeez.
Adelaide
No,
or
I don't.
something? Adelaide?
Brisbane, up around the Brisbane area, I think Ari is. Brisbane in Queensland. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I love those names.
Makes sense.
Queensland.
Because I know
Sounds so royal.
I know he said something like they were 1,400 miles apart from Darwin and Brisbane.
Yeah.
Well, Ari and Brad.
I think.
I was sorry to interrupt, guys. I was just looking at the replay, Jim, of the delayed thing on the YouTube there, and I noticed you put up your jacket too, man. So thank you for that. It looked awesome. I like it, Jim. I like it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, September
I'll come to your
11th.
channel actually, man, and have you got your email on your channel? Have you in the
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, mate. I'll leave it with me. We'll hook up. We'll look forward to it.
I'll put it on here. I'll take it off when we're done.
All right, man. I'll copy paste it. Cool, bananas. Excellent.
John Cuppy has joined us. Hey, John, how are you?
G'day, Johnny, mate.
Let me go ahead and give you some blue jeans
John.
so you feel right at home here. There we go.
I like that name. Wisbech.
Well, we're all missing Ken Heron show. What a shame.
Who?
Really?
I've got him on in the background. His show's falling apart.
His show is?
Yeah.
How so? What's happened?
He's having Skype trouble.
Oh, God. Well,
John
Okay,
Coopy.
I
Hey,
got it,
John.
Jim. If you want to retract it, I've got it. No worries. Thanks, mate.
All right. John Coopy, I was on Coast to Coast drones with them or watching them yesterday.
Oh, was he on Coast to Coast?
Yeah, you know, John, he does a lot of FPV.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see his face on the icon, but you definitely know him, Mitch. Yeah, he was part of the Coast to Coast drones crew last night.
See this?
Coleslaw, fish
Ooh,
and
nice.
chips.
You see this? I would.
$11 at your
I would.
restaurant.
That's from our restaurant. I would absolutely kill today for some of this food that we used to make. This was a pasta.
Not available anymore?
No, it had to close. We lost.
No. I mean, there's no other places that
No, not like this. This was a pasta dish with blackened grouper and beurre blanc sauce, and oh my God, the food that's just veggies. The food we used to make in this restaurant would it was unbelievable. I gained
Where did
so
you get
much
your
weight.
chefs from?
Just around. I gained so much weight working in this place. These are not the greatest food pictures, but I found
Get
a
the
folder
picture
with
across.
food pictures. I don't know what the hell that is, but that was it. A grouper sandwich, a grouper fish and chips, and like
I
that.
don't think
What's
I've
this
ever
one?
eaten grouper.
This
I
is
kept
a
them alive. But,
yeah. It was great, and I think I gained. I had the restaurant for 2 years. I gained 40 pounds.
I would too.
Oh man.
I'd have
well, that restaurant lifestyle is tough because it's mainly weekends. You have no life.
It is. It's a brutal business,
and it's long hours.
What we have over here now is the mostly chains, right, Mitch?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the same with
Well,
anywhere. I think,
That's
you
in
know.
general with
Yeah.
hardware stores, drug stores, any store, even food stores or shops.
I hardly eat out at all.
They're all
Well,
the
you're
same.
Smart.
They're all the same.
Yeah, it's the only way I can keep from getting
You mean the
fat.
chains? What's all the same? The chain stores?
Yeah.
The food, yeah, the food. I mean, between Fridays and Chili's and what the heck are the other ones? Except we have this one place called Cheddar's where everything is a entree, a la carte entree. You got to order the potato separately.
I haven't been there.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Any of you guys do sushi?
No,
No.
never did. My son loves it, but I don't.
Good.
Yeah, I can't do wet fish. I don't get it. Where's
I
the
like
appeal?
tuna and salmon. It's yummy. Very good.
Yeah, I like tuna and salmon too. I eat tuna
Cool.
out of a can but I do like salmon, but I don't eat it raw.
I haven't gotten sick yet.
That's where you draw the line, right?
Well, no, I just don't. It's just not my
Doesn't
style.
appeal.
But being Jewish, I like lox, which is smoked salmon.
Oh, bagels and lox. I love
I like it too, and I'm Catholic.
Yeah, God, I love that stuff. But now,
Who
Christ,
doesn't like a nice hot pastrami on rye?
it's almost like $20 a pound now for smoked salmon for lox. It's crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it is. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. I think that
I thought we just begun, Mitch.
I'm not in for a
I'm just
marathon
kidding.
tonight. I got to eat some dinner and everything, and rather than go out with only 2 people watching, I think we'll close it down.
Righto, man.
And
Thanks for having me.
Don't do that, Mitch, because that means I've got to go and do some concrete work, mate.
well, that's why I'm doing it, Spike, because otherwise I'd be responsible for your delinquency, and I don't want to do that. I don't want.
Yeah, wifey will have a go at you.
Yeah,
We got 12 watching.
that's all right. That's all
cool,
right.
man. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to overstay our welcome and save
Well, I'm
something for the next time.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we were able to stay away from any controversy at all.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
That wears me out. That stuff.
You could go on forever. It just never ends.
It doesn't. And there's always differing opinions, and I've seen families today are actually breaking up because of differences in political opinions, and that's so sad.
We had a blast, John, and we got a pinch. We just skirted the edges of a tiny political conversation there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
So
how
anyway-
us Republican conservatives can be in a liberal day and age.
Yeah. Carlos,
Yes, sir.
thanks for coming, man.
Thank you. For having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to meet you, Carlos.
You're always
very
welcome
nice
next week's Spike.
You know what? I would have come earlier, but I was on Rulin's channel, and I didn't.
That's okay. There's plenty to go
And you
around
had,
it.
yeah, you had a lot of guys.
Spike, man,
Okay.
always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you
Yeah.
for the sunrise. It was beautiful, and
No worries, Mitch.
Even
and,
he's
You're
and the
welcome,
guided
man.
tour.
A promise is a promise. You support me and you come in when I need it all the time. So very, very honored, happy to. I put
Thank
the
you.
alarm on for 5 o'clock this morning to make sure. I
Thank
don't
you.
miss it.
It means a lot to me, and
Yeah, man.
I'm always there. I'm always there for you.
You're like family. You're like family.
With a few appropriate sound effects.
It's like a monk's. Spike,
There it
how
is.
is it? What time is it by you, Spike?
The time here now is 8:45 a.m.
12
Oh,
hours.
so he's
difference.
12 hours.
12
Okay.
hours
Yeah,
from
man.
us. Yeah, exactly
Yep.
12 hours.
Yep.
So
don't
Mars
forget,
is
Saturday-
Mars is 14
Saturday
hours
night,
ahead. Is that right?
Saturday
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
6
he's
p.m.
14
your
hours.
time.
Peter, what time is it where you are?
Saturday night, 6 p.m.
10:45 here.
your time.
10:45. So
Yes.
you're
6
2
p.m.
hours.
Central America. 6 p.m. Central America this Saturday night live.
Saturday night, 6 p.m. Central.
Yes, sir.
That's 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
That's art. That's what. All right. Well, art's time, but I'll be there. You know, Spike, gotta have the sound effects for you. So if
Good on you, man. I didn't realize it was arts time. Right, so I'll have a look.
Mitch, I want one of those monkeys. I won't put it online, but I want one.
That's Spank.
Look,
Spank the
I
monkey.
think that monkey is so cool.
Spank,
Yeah, man. Spank, Spank
I
that
think he
monkey.
is so cool.
Yep. Spank
It
that
looks
monkey.
real.
it is
I don't know
real.
about all that.
It is a real monkey.
It's a real fake
a
monkey.
video
What's
of a
going
real
on,
monkey.
man?
Shot on a green screen. Yeah, and It loops
I
about
like
a minute, about a minute and a half loop. Yeah, I actually have a scene where
You know what would be cool, Mitch? An
I have a
orangutan.
scene where I actually have it without me. It's just a monkey, and
I like his hairdo also. I think that is so cool. The way it moves, it's just like it's almost creepy, but
yeah,
it's cool.
it's funny. He behaves himself too. He sits there. He's very nice.
He behaves himself.
So how come
Interesting to
it's
see.
10:22 in Michigan? What's that's still America, Michigan, and it's 10:22. That's
No,
quite
it's
a-
not. It wouldn't
West.
be. In Michigan,
Central
it'd be 8 Central Time. Be an hour behind. Be 7:22.
That's why he's probably his watch has stopped again. That's what it'd be. He's a cheeky bugger, old Ken. I tell you, it's funny.
Look who's
Broken.
coming in. We got Nunya and Diana is coming in now. We're just saying our goodbyes because we're almost doing this for 3 hours now. But hey, thanks.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
It is, yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Mitch,
No,
we
and
had
who
a
else?
good night.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. It was
I had
fun.
fun.
Brilliant.
I like the sunrise.
Spike,
We'll have
I'm
to make-
surprised you're smoking, Spike. I'm kind of
I know,
surprised.
man. I know.
Why
Let's
don't
not
you
talk
vape?
about
Try vaping or something, or the Juul.
that. No,
I gotta
vaping
go
is-
to that, Al.
Smoke cigars like your Uncle Mitch. That's what you need.
Yeah,
to
all
do.
right, Uncle
Yeah,
Mitch.
yeah.
All right.
Smoke
You-
cigars. I'm going to go out after this and
Yeah.
sit down on my patio outside and have a nice little
Oh,
cigar.
Mitch, real quick, are you getting that new Tiny Hawk?
The new one. You know,
Yeah.
I have this one. You saw this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Are you
I
planning
read,
on getting
I,
the
I
2S?
read some reviews. I went on and looked at the thing and read some reviews, and a couple of guys have said that there's a lot of things they should have fixed and didn't.
Nothing right.
And I don't really-
camera.
I don't know.
Probably.
Same camera. It's the same camera.
That's what I mean. They probably should have fixed that.
Yeah, and I don't need it.
VTX
I
is
mean,
weak.
I'm moving into the bigger quads, and I have
understand.
I have 3 of these little whoops to if I want to fly around the house.
You still
So
have the M80?
I can't see spending.
You still have the
spending more.
Yashin M80?
I got an M80, and
Have
this
you had
one
any problems with the props coming off of that?
with the props. Oh yeah, I've already bought replacement props for it because once they come off and you put them on, they're gonna keep popping off.
You know what I use is Elmer's glue.
Yeah, people have told me that, or you can actually take some CA and put it in there, and then take an undersized drill, a little drill, and drill it out again. But
That's too much work.
this one here is a great little drone. This is the
Which is that? Oh,
It's the 85 F
You know, they
Beta
discontinued that, I think.
85X. It's a little bigger than it's bigger than the Tiny Hawk. See the two of
They
them,
don't make that anymore.
It puts out a nice picture.
and it's
Yeah.
got the HD camera in it, but it's a 3S. You can fly it on 2S or 3S, and it's just a little heavy and a little big to be screaming around the house with it. So you could do some damage with this thing, whereas the little Tiny Hawk weighs nothing.
Right.
Anyway,
All right, guys.
Ah.
Adios, amigos.
so Carlos, thanks for coming. Spike, always a pleasure. Jim,
You're welcome.
always a pleasure. Why don't you give me a call, Jim? Let's go flying. Maybe one day this
Yeah,
weekend.
definitely.
It's too windy.
I'm surprised.
Sounds
We'll
good to me.
We'll go
Peter
up to
Carroll?
the club flying field. I got a couple airplanes I want to fly and about 3 drones I want to fly.
Yeah, I want to see those planes, Mitch.
You
Yeah,
can be my Jim.
film
You
me a
can be
plane.
my cameraman. I need a guy to run to actually shoot some of this stuff. So
Absolutely.
let's do that. And who's next in line? Mike Roche. Always a pleasure. Love
Good
having
Peter.
you. And Peter, my oldest and original follower.
Yeah.
Thank
Big
you.
great.
Good on you.
To join your illustrious panel. I've enjoyed it.
Oh man, anytime, man, anytime. And you
I
just
love
got to
it.
stop interrupting everybody. Just
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah, he does talk quite a bit. I know.
Yeah.
That is a bad habit I have, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
A true
guys.
gentleman, the sign of a true gentleman.
Yes,
that's
sir.
That's Mark. You got it in one. Yep.
Yeah,
What is the saying? Better to let people think you're a fool than to open up your mouth and leave no doubt. Something to
Yeah.
that effect.
That's right.
Let me get
Be
a little.
smart.
Let me see here. I got to get a little music here. And what music do I like? But this one. Here we go. My theme
Blues?
song.
I like it.
All righty.
There it is. So with that, guys, I'm going to stop the broadcasting and say goodnight to everybody, and a round of applause for all of you guys.
Hi, all.
Drew, Spike,
Yep. Ta-da, everyone.
and
Right.
everybody out there who may still be watching this thing. We will see you 6 o'clock next Thursday, and take the rest of the day off, as I always say, and go play with your drones, man. Have a good time. All right, everybody. Take care.
Yoo-hoo.